Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Flip Thought Show. It's your host with the most geek, true, talking bird, want the word, and ball on the fly. And this is quick little stream, man. Um, it's been a lot of work keep going on, trying to get the house right. If you guys didn't yet, go check me out on the Black Box Shop, the Spider the most Easty and Munchie B. the Mayor. They grace me with their presence last night and had me on their platform, and it was a real cool, dope experience, man. So go check that out. But yeah, man, I'm just gonna be reacting to a couple things, real quick. Probably gonna be maybe not no more than an hour, maybe 45 minutes at the most. But yeah, man, we don't see what's going on. Definitely appreciate all the likes, all the support, uh, comments, views, support me and much love. Yeah, man, but all right, we gonna get right into it, man. The first thing we got on the list is hip hop daily, the Drake and Kendrick Lamar beef, and actually we were speaking about that a little bit yesterday on the Black Box with Munchie B, the mayor, and Spilo, the most Easty man. And basically, I feel like both of them have worked real hard, the same amount of hard. They come from two different paths of life, but I feel like maybe this is maybe something that Drake's PR team was doing. Maybe it's not fully Drake. I don't agree with the defamation of character lawsuit because Drake did sit there and say that Kendrick's kids wasn't his and all that. So that's still defamation of character too. You don't see Kendrick doing a lawsuit here. Drake coming from like Munchie B said, rap back. Uh, you know, or maybe it was Spider that said it. Don't quote me, but it was one of them that said it yesterday. They said that he comes around from the rap battle lane in Canada. Um, Before he started from the lane, he was doing rap battle stuff, so he should already be used to the little blows that you get in the game, man. But yeah, for sure, we're gonna go right to the comments, man. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Boom. Um, boom. Hey, my bad, y'all.
Broke all kinds of streaming records, but Drake's team are claiming some of the streams are fake. According to the paperwork, UMG and Spotify have closed business ties, and in 2023, Spotify paid UMG over $2 billion to license their music and put it on the platform. Streaming money is huge for UMG, and in 2023, the Spotify money was around 20% of UMG's revenue. So Drake's lawyers are basically saying that when an UMG artist pops off and runs up huge numbers, it's good for UMG and Spotify too. Kendrick is on UMG under his deal with Interscope Records, and that's why Drake's team thinks UMG was boosting Not Like Us. The lawyers have some crazy theories about UMG and Spotify too. According to the paperwork, UMG gave Spotify a 30% discount on the licensing for Not Like Us, so Spotify would recommend the track to people who are looking for other songs and artists. Drake's team also said that UMG was using bots to make it seem like Not Like Us was more popular than it really was. But this is where the paperwork gets really sketchy. During the summer of 2024, when the Drake and Kendrick beef was still hot, a random hacker linked up with DJ Academics on the stream and claimed that Kendrick's team paid him to use bots and get 30 million streams for Not Like Us.
Early on, when the song first dropped, it wasn't him. I'm not going to say he reached out to me himself because obviously he didn't. It was definitely somebody from management. They wanted me to do 30 million early, which fed into the rest of the views.
The hacker claimed he was supposed to get $5,000 in points on the song too, which everyone knew was cap.
Up front, I was promised 5K. They told me it was for a big artist. Promised 5K up front. They sent me 2.5K, and then I was also promised after the song performed, I was also going to receive, a little percentage of the song, so points on the song.
Not Like Us was always going to be a hit, and even getting 1% of the publishing royalties would be huge. And there's no way that Kendrick or his team would give up points like that. The hacker said that Kendrick's team wanted 30 million streams to jumpstart the track and get it popping, but he never gave any proof. And what makes the situation even funnier is that Drake's legal team is citing this random dude in their legal filing. Citing some random dude who was obviously capping isn't a good look for Drake's team. And if that's the only evidence they have that Not Like Us was botted, there's a good chance the whole case is going to get thrown out if they try to turn it into a real lawsuit. The paperwork also claimed that UMG paid Apple to use Siri to play Not Like Us. Drake's team said that when people would ask Siri to play Drake's album Certified Lover Boy, Siri would play Not Like Us instead.
Play Certified Lover Boy on Spotify.
I see dead people.
That's crazy. Spotify. What's going on?
But the most serious claim that Drake's team is making is that UMG paid people to play the track. Paying radio stations to play songs has been illegal since 1934. And in 2020, the feds decided that paying influencers without telling people was basically the same thing. And in the paperwork, Drake's team said that UMG paid people on social media to promote Not Like Us. The funniest part of the paperwork is when Drake's team just talks about how big Not Like Us got though. They used a whole page to talk about how Not Like Us broke the record for the most streams for a rap song in history, how many weeks it stayed on the charts, and how many views the music video got. Drake's team also made some wild claims that UMG was firing people who were loyal to Drake. And according to the paperwork, Drake had been trying to reach out to UMG to talk about the situation, but UMG didn't want to meet with him. When the news broke that Drake was going the legal route, instead of dissing Kendrick again, he got clowned like crazy. But then he made the situation even worse. One day after the first paperwork came out, Drake filed another petition against UMG, and this time it was because he thought they should have blocked Not Like Us from coming out and accused him of paying iHeartRadio to play the track. The second petition said that UMG knew that Not Like Us called Drake a certified pedophile and a predator. Drake's team said that UMG should have blocked Kendrick from dropping the track, but instead.
But what's the difference of Kendrick calling Drake a pedo and Drake saying that Kendrick's kids were his, though? Come on, that's defamation of character too, though, right? It's the sport of rap, homie. Like y'all taking it too far with this shit.
Instead, they try to turn it into a viral mega hit. It's wild because Drake admitted straight up that Not Like Us hurt his career. But the dumbest thing about taking it to court is that he was sending crazy shots at Kendrick too. Drake called Kendrick a woman beater on Family Matters and raps, "We get that you like to put gin in your juice. We get that you think that you bishop and juice. When you put your hands on your girl, is it self-defense because she's bigger than you?" And on the Heart Part 6, Drake said it again and raps, "You could drop 100 more records, I'll see you later. Yeah, maybe when you meet your maker. I don't want to fight with a woman beater. It feeds your nature." Drake didn't have any evidence to back up the crazy shots he was taking at Kendrick, but now he's trying to start lawsuits because Kendrick did the same thing to him. And what makes it even funnier about the bots and streaming drama is that on the Heart Part 6, Drake also raps, "Stop buying views and bot comments. You may as well keep the paper. Shit you about to need for later. I give a fuck about your streaming data. You can drop 100 more records. I'll see you later." Kendrick and Drake are both under UMG, but Drake is basically saying that they should start blocking diss tracks even though he's been dropping them too. The lawsuit would have been weak even if Drake never dissed Kendrick, but since Drake was calling Kendrick a woman beater, it makes his case even worse. But if Drake does file a lawsuit against UMG and wins, it could change the whole rap game. He's basically saying that the label should be responsible for anything a rapper says on their tracks. So if UMG loses and has to pay out because it didn't block a diss track, that would probably be the end of rap disses forever. Every label in the game would be afraid of getting sued for something their artist said, and that's not going to be good for anyone. Drake would have been clowned for the situation no matter what, but he also picked the worst possible time to start taking things to court. One theory about why Drake is going after the label is because he wants to get out of his deal with Universal. Drake signed a deal with Universal Music Group in 2022 that was rumored to be around $400 million, making it one of the biggest deals in the history of the music industry. Before that, Drake was signed to Cash Money, which was part of Republic Records, another label under UMG. But in 2022, Drake cut a massive deal directly with UMG, which included not only music, but other things like merch and visual media. But even though Drake got a major payday, not everyone thinks it was a good business move. Kanye even rapped about Drake's relationship with the Universal Music Group CEO, Lucien Grange, on a leaked version of the Like That remix, where he said, "Where's Lucien? Serve your master, nigga. You caught a little bag for your masters, didn't you? Lifetime deal. I feel bad for niggas." Kanye also said in an interview around the same time that Drake has a rich baby daddy named Lucien Grange in Universal.
Drake has a rich baby daddy named Lucien and Universal.
So basically, Ye was saying that even though Drake got a major bag up front, he was still stuck in a bad deal where he had no control. Some people think that UMG gave Kendrick the green light to start dissing Drake because their deal is almost up. Drake wanted to get out of the contract and go fully independent. So Universal teamed up with Kendrick to hurt Drake's career, so he'd have no choice but to stay in a bad deal, which is why Drake decided to sue them. Another theory is that Drake is scared that Kendrick is going to play Not Like Us during a Super Bowl halftime performance in February. So he's hoping the lawsuit will stop Kendrick from playing it if the case is still ongoing. The same day the news UMG artist pops off and runs up huge numbers, it's good for UMG and Spotify too. Kendrick is on UMG under his deal with Interscope Records, and that's why Drake's team thinks UMG was boosting Not Like Us. The lawyers have some crazy theories about UMG and Spotify too. According to the paperwork, UMG gave Spotify a 30% discount on the licensing for Not Like Us, so Spotify would recommend the track to people who were looking for other songs and artists. Drake's team also said that UMG was using bots to make it seem like Not Like Us was more popular than it really was. But this is where the paperwork gets really sketchy. During the summer of 2024, when the Drake and Kendrick beef was still hot, a random hacker linked up with DJ Academics on the stream and claimed that Kendrick's team paid him to use bots and get 30 million streams for Not Like Us.
Early on, when the song first dropped, it wasn't him. I'm not going to say he reached out to me himself because obviously he didn't. It was definitely somebody from management. They wanted me to do 30 million early, which fed into the rest of the views.
The hacker claimed he was supposed to get $5,000 in points on the song too, which everyone knew was cap.
Up front, I was promised 5K. They told me it was for a big artist. Promised 5K up front. They sent me 2.5K, and then I was also promised after the song performed, I was also going to receive, a little percentage of the song, so points on the song.
Not Like Us was always going to be a hit, and even getting 1% of the publishing royalties would be huge, and there's no way that Kendrick or his team would give up points like that. The hacker said that Kendrick's team wanted 30 million streams to jumpstart the track and get it popping, but he never gave any proof. And what makes the situation even funnier is that Drake's legal team is citing this random dude in their legal filing. Citing some random dude who was obviously capping isn't a good look for Drake's team. And if that's the only evidence they have that Not Like Us was botted, there's a good chance the whole case is going to get thrown out if they try to turn it into a real lawsuit. The paperwork also claimed that UMG paid Apple to use Siri to play Not Like Us. Drake's team said that when people would ask Siri to play Drake's album Certified Lover Boy, Siri would play Not Like Us instead.
Play Certified Lover Boy on Spotify.
I see dead people.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Spotify. What's going on?
But the most serious claim that Drake's team is making is that UMG paid people to play the track. Paying radio stations to play songs has been illegal since 1934. And in 2020, the feds decided that paying influencers without telling people was basically the same thing. And in the paperwork, Drake's team said that UMG paid people on social media to promote Not Like Us. The funniest part of the paperwork is when Drake's team just talks about how big Not Like Us got though. They used the whole page to talk about how Not Like Us broke the record for the most streams for a rap song in history, how many weeks it stayed on the charts, and how many views the music video got. Drake's team also made some wild claims that UMG was firing people who were loyal to Drake. And according to the paperwork, Drake had been trying to reach out to UMG to talk about the situation, but UMG didn't want to meet with him. When the news broke that Drake was going the legal route, instead of dissing Kendrick again, he got clowned like crazy. But then he made the situation even worse. One day after the first paperwork came out, Drake filed another petition against UMG, and this time it was because he thought they should have blocked Not Like Us from coming out and accused him of paying iHeartRadio to play the track. The second petition said that UMG knew that Not Like Us called Drake a certified pedophile and a predator. Drake's team said that UMG should have blocked Kendrick from dropping the track, but instead they tried to turn it into a viral mega hit. It's wild because Drake admitted straight up that Not Like Us hurt his career. But the dumbest thing about taking it to court is that he was sending crazy shots at Kendrick too. Drake called Kendrick a woman beater on Family Matters and rapped, "We get that you like to put gin in your juice. We get that you think that you bishop and juice. When you put your hands on your girl, is it self-defense because she's bigger than you?" And on the Heart Part 6, Drake said it again and rapped, "You could drop 100 more records, I'll see you later. Yeah, maybe when you meet your maker. I don't want to fight with a woman beater. It feeds your nature." Drake didn't have any evidence to back up the crazy shots he was taking at Kendrick, but now he's trying to start lawsuits because Kendrick did the same thing to him. And what makes it even funnier about the bots and streaming drama is that on the Heart Part 6, Drake also rapped, "Stop buying views and bot comments. You may as well keep the paper. Shit you about to need for later. I give a fuck about your streaming data. You could drop 100 more records. I'll see you later." Kendrick and Drake are both under UMG, but Drake is basically saying that they should start blocking diss tracks even though he's been dropping them too. The lawsuit would have been weak even if Drake never dissed Kendrick, but since Drake was calling Kendrick a woman beater, it makes his case even worse. But if Drake does file a lawsuit against UMG and wins, it could change the whole rap game. He's basically saying that the label should be responsible for anything a rapper says on their tracks. So if UMG loses and has to pay out because it didn't block a diss track, that would probably be the end of rap disses forever. Every label in the game would be afraid of getting sued for something their artist said. and that's not going to be good for anyone. Drake would have been clowned for the situation no matter what, but he also picked the worst possible time to start taking things to court. One theory about why Drake is going after the label is because he wants to get out of his deal with Universal. Drake signed a deal with Universal Music Group in 2022 that was rumored to be around $400 million, making it one of the biggest deals in the history of the music industry. Before that, Drake was signed to Cash Money, which was part of Republic Records, another label under UMG. But in 2022, Drake cut a massive deal directly with UMG, which included not only music, but other things like merch and visual media. But even though Drake got a major payday, not everyone thinks it was a good business move. Kanye even raps about Drake's relationship with the Universal Music Group CEO, Lucien Grange, on a leaked version of the Like That remix, where he said, "Where's Lucien? Serve your master, nigga. You caught a little bag for your masters, didn't you? Lifetime deal? I feel bad for niggas." Kanye also said in an interview around the same time that Drake has a rich baby daddy named Lucien Grange in Universal.
Drake has a rich baby daddy named Lucien and Universal.
So basically, Ye was saying that even though Drake got a major bag up front, he was still stuck in a bad deal where he had no control. Some people think that UMG gave Kendrick the green light to start dissing Drake because their deal is almost up. Drake wanted to get out of the contract and go fully independent. So Universal teamed up with Kendrick to hurt Drake's career, so he'd have no choice but to stay in a bad deal, which is why Drake decided to sue them. Another theory is that Drake is scared that Kendrick is going to play Not Like Us during a Super Bowl halftime performance in February, so he's hoping the lawsuit will stop Kendrick from playing it if the case is still ongoing. The same day the news about the lawsuit dropped, Drake also announced his own tour of Australia and New Zealand that starts the same day as the Super Bowl. So it seems like Drake is trying to do whatever he can to take the attention away from Kendrick. A couple days before the paperwork was filed, Kendrick shocked the game when he surprise dropped his album, GNX. And on the first track, Kendrick aired Drake out for trying to pay his homies for dirt and raps. "Niggas from my city couldn't entertain old boy, promising bank transactions and even Bitcoin. I never pieced it up. That shit don't sit well with me. Before I take a truce, I'll take them to hell with me." Kendrick also aired out anyone who was still rocking with Drake and raps, "Hey, fuck anybody empathetic to the other side. I vow. A bitch nigga love bitch niggas. They exist with them in style. Exterminate them right now." Kendrick also had bars for Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg had posted Drake's tailor-made freestyle track, so Kendrick called him out and rapped, "Snoop posted tailor-made. I prayed it was the edibles. I couldn't believe it. It was only right for me to let it go." Snoop gave Kendrick his flowers when GNX dropped and called him the King of the West. But he wasn't the only OG that Kendrick called out on the track. A month before Kendrick dropped the album, the news broke that he was going to be performing at the Super Bowl halftime show in New Orleans in 2025. It was a massive moment for Kendrick, but some people got pressed about it. Lil Wayne is the biggest rapper from New Orleans, and Wayne made it clear he wasn't happy that he didn't get picked to perform in his hometown at the Super Bowl. Wayne said he worked his ass off to be able to play at the Super Bowl, but the opportunity got ripped away from him.
That moment I said to myself, I want to be on stage for the Super Bowl one day in front of my mom. And I worked my ass off to get that fucking position, and it was ripped away from me.
Kendrick has been a fan of Weezy forever, but Wayne decided to whine about the Super Bowl instead of giving Kendrick props. So on the track Whacked Out Murals, Kendrick rapped, "Used to bump the Carter 3, I held my rolly chain proud. Irony, I think my hard work let Lil Wayne down. Whatever though, call me crazy, everybody questionable." Drake and Lil Wayne are obviously tight, but back in the day, Kendrick was in the studio with Lil Wayne and talks about how much his hard work inspired him.
Knocked out about 12 verses, and this is feature Wayne at the moment. Man, these not no motherfucking fly-by-night verses. This is set right there and thought out right in front of your face and smashing them. And he's excited about it. And he's loving music, and he loves what he's doing. That gave me a whole nother appreciation. And we took that same intensity and that work ethic, and we applied it moving forward.
But now it looks like Wayne might want to smoke with Kendrick too. After the album dropped, Wayne tweeted that he's just chilling, but said, "No one really wants destruction, not even me, but I shall destroy if disturbed." A lot of fans thought it was a corny response because Kendrick didn't really even diss Wayne. According to Joe Budden, Wayne actually tried to call Kendrick about the situation, but Kendrick didn't pick up the phone, so Wayne went to the studio and recorded a diss track.
I'm hearing that somebody picked up the phone, tried to call and see what the energy was. I'm hearing that Kendrick didn't answer. I'm going in the booth. You have until I get in that booth to hit me back.
Are we talking about Wayne?
Yes. I'm hearing that Wayne went in the booth.
Drake also tried to make it look like the Super Bowl offered him the spot instead of Kendrick, but he turned it down. It was clear that Drake was pressed about the situation though, and he announced that he was starting this new tour in Australia on the same day as the Super Bowl. And according to NFL sources, Drake had never been offered to perform at the Super Bowl. On the same day as the first paperwork against UMG came out, Drake went on a live stream with a streamer named XQC and talks about the Kendrick beat. Drake introduced himself and said he was fully intact and that you need facts to take him out, not fairy tales.
I'm Drake. This is XQC, real streaming legend. Me, I do music in case you didn't know. I'm here, as you can see, fully intact, mind, body, and soul, in case you were wondering, right?
Mind, body, and soul.
Mind, body, and soul. You need facts to take me out. Fairy tales won't do it.
Then later in the stream, XQC was playing The Weeknd and Drake told him to turn the song off.
You have to switch this song off.
It's on a play, it's fine money.
You have to switch this one.
Drake and The Weeknd are both from Toronto and used to be cool. Drake was posting The Weeknd's music on his OVO blog all the way back in 2010 before The Weeknd blew up, but they allegedly started beefing because Drake wanted to sign him and The Weeknd turned him down. At one point, it looked like Drake and The Weeknd had squashed it, but in April 2024, The Weeknd allegedly took a shot at Drake on the track All to Myself and rapped, "They could never diss my brothers, baby," when they got leaks in their operation. I thank God that I never saw my life away. Drake also did Steve Lacy during the stream and called him a fragile op.
This guy's like a fragile op, but it's a good song though.
Steve Lacy is from Compton and performed at Kendrick's The Pop Out concert over the summer, and that's allegedly why Drake is dissing him now. A lot of people drag Drake for going after Steve Lacy like that, and Steve Lacy even clowned Drake on IG after the stream. Then Kendrick's homie Relly posted some texts where Kendrick and him are clowning Drake for the stream too. Right now it seems like every move Drake makes is just digging a bigger hole for himself, and now people are bringing up how Kendrick told him on Meet the Grams, "You lied about the only artist that can offer you some help. Fuck a rap battle, this is a long life battle with yourself." And according to some sources, Kendrick and his team found out about Drake's legal moves before anyone else, and that's why Kendrick surprise dropped his album to take over the headlines. And Kendrick's label allegedly didn't even get the record until the day he dropped it. The rap game was already going crazy when Kendrick dropped like that, so Drake taking the situation to court while Kendrick was still in the headlines was definitely a bad move, and it doesn't look like Kendrick is going to take his foot off the gas anytime soon. A lot of people are calling this the biggest rap beef since Biggie and Pac, and just like them, Kendrick and Drake started out being cool with each other. Back in 2011, Drake featured Kendrick on his track Buried Alive Interlude, and Kendrick shouted Drake out when he rapped, "So blame it on Mr. OVO XO. The reason why I'm breathing, all the vanity I know." Then Drake brought Kendrick on tour with him, and on the track 4 p.m. in Calabasas, he rapped, "When they told me take an R&B nigga on the road, and I told them no, and drew for Kendrick and Rocky." ASAP Rocky featured Kendrick and Drake on his track Fucking Problems, then Kendrick put Drake on his track Poetic Justice. It looked like Drake and Kendrick were going to be dropping a lot of music together, but Poetic Justice was the last time they made anything. In 2013, Kendrick dropped his legendary Control verse where he called out all the biggest rappers in the game and said, "I'm usually homeboys with the same niggas I'm rhyming with, but this is hip-hop, and them niggas should know what time it is." And that goes for Jermaine Cole, Big Crit, Wale, Pusha T, Meek Mills, ASAP Rocky, Drake, Big Sean, Jay Electron, Tyler, Mac Miller. I got love for you all, but I'm trying to murder you niggas. It was clear that Kendrick was being competitive but showing love at the same time. But Drake got pressed about it and said Kendrick could never murder him in any platform. That's when Kendrick turned up the heat during his BET Hip Hop Awards cypher and rapped, "Nothing's been the same since they dropped Control," and tucked the sensitive rapper back in his pajama clothes. Kendrick and Drake didn't send any crazy shots at each other, but it was clear from that point that they weren't cool either. That all changed though when J. Cole and Drake dropped the track First Person Shooter. J. Cole called himself, Drake, and Kendrick the big three in the rap game. So Kendrick clapped back on like that and rapped, "Fuck sneak dissing, First Person Shooter, I hope they came with 3 switches. And motherfuck the big 3, nigga, it's just Big Me." After that, Kendrick and Drake started trading diss tracks and turned it into one of the biggest beefs in rap history. For a few months, it looked like Drake was just gonna move on after he lost, but now he's taking it to court, and there's no telling what's gonna happen next. And if Lil Wayne hops in and starts dissing too, the beef could become bigger than ever and drag even more OG rappers into the drama. So stay tuned for updates because the beef is far from over.
It was just an ordinary.
Okay.
So, NBA Youngboy's former artist P. Youngin from Plaquemine, Louisiana, unfortunately was unalived today. Ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, it was confirmed that P. Youngin lost his life. Now, on today's video, we're going to look in depth and deeply into this situation. Now, P. Youngin, a great rapper from Plaquemine, Louisiana, 15 minutes from Baton Rouge. The sources and information has been confirmed. He unfortunately has been unalived in his hometown due to a lot of situations. Let's get into that and let's see where this go forward from here.
Better watch your fucking tone when you talking to the Yankee. Cause soon as you say the wrong thing, I'm bound to take you Yankee. Bitch, I had plenty love for you, never thought you would change your phone. That bitch could come on, bitch, I still wouldn't even want it. Sitting up in second grade, dick.
I've been broke so many times, Mama say it's my fault, I wear my heart on my sleeve.
P. Youngin, NBA Youngboy's former artist who was embroiled into a feud allegedly that was part of the hip hop community and the streets of Baton Rouge and Plaquemine, Louisiana. Now, these disputes often involve rivalries over loyalty, territorial, and music affiliations, which can escalate beyond music and into real life conflicts. Reports suggest that P. Youngin's separation from NBA Youngboy's camps never broke again, coupled with ongoing tensions, may have contributed allegedly to the circumstances surrounding his untimely death. Thus said by the TikTok fans and the people who are suggesting YB, but that's not what we're going to do over here. Now, such events highlight the ongoing challenges and violence that continue to plague hip hop industry. Now, P. Youngin, the rapper who gained fame in 2019 with Me versus World and basically I Love Ya, which was his EP, was actually critically acclaimed at the time. Now, P. Youngin got bigger fame in 2020 with I'm On featuring NBA Youngboy from the album, or I should say mixtapes, Demons Everywhere. Now, P. Youngin also started flowing through the XXL streets of hip hop world. Basically, the freshman 2022 class also included a 10th spot, which P. Youngin over here was really trying to push people to vote for him. And a lot of people loved his music. He would actually gain the 10th spot on the XXL freshman magazine. Now, P. Youngin is from Plaquemine, Louisiana. It's basically 15 minutes from Baton Rouge. And he calls himself Plaque Youngin for a reason. He loves his city. He loves his hometown, which unfortunately where he was killed. Now, Baton Rouge and Plaquemine is sort of like Miami and Broward County, few little bit minutes away, but they claim each other to a certain degree. Now, P. Youngin started rapping at 13, unfortunately, after the demise of his cousin, Mr. Trent. Now, P. Youngin's cousin, Trent Jones, who was unfortunately unalived in May 13, 2020, and after that, he was haunted basically for a body he had allegedly got. Now, P. Youngin would surmise his name and honor in lyrics, which he stated, I remember conversations with little Trent, remember days up on the block, rewind the time, it ain't gonna stop. You was spoiling me and telling Banny I was selling rocks. We at war about your name. My nigga, I'll never stop. Well, let's just say after a pivotal moment happens to anybody's life, no matter where your background is, you basically turn up. And boy, did P. Youngin turn up in music.
I'm gon' flip. Think cause I'm a rapper, you think that PYA, he scared. Gang members, they all day, man, all them take meds. Coco don't take my phone, they try roll up that sucker. Them other dudes be capping bad, they'll never touch us.
Now, to the people who are trying to allege this was an NBA YoungBoy 4K trade situation, I want to show you guys some of the things that P. Youngin allegedly was involved in. He had beef coming from everywhere in all angles. And to make matters worse, there are people from his hometown right now on Reddit who are alleging that his unalive situation was contributed to an old head who actually got beef from him allegedly in Monroe, Louisiana. I don't know how true that is, but let's look at the extent of his history, background, and beef ongoing feud. Now, P. Youngin was putting on heavy for 4K Trey, even letting Dirty Glove Entertainment know that YB and Boosie are some of his favorite rappers.
We turned up and shit. We took off.
Yeah. So, like, who'd you grow up listening to? What were some of your favorite rappers back in the day, man?
Shit. Boosie, Le Fat, fucking. Boosie, Le Fat, fucking. Who else? I could say YB, fucking.
P. Youngin would eventually try to prove to Contrell that he would be the most loyalist 4K trade member out here, and by going hard in the paint at anybody who was against YB, including former drill artist legend Julio Fulio from Jacksonville, Florida.
Little boy to me, little P. Youngin. The 4K trade P. Youngin.
Don't say, hey, I don't ever say my name on no live, man. I don't do that. You let a nigga know it's smoke for pussy. Get your ass to them fucking ass, nigga. Where your Zoes at, man? Bitch, where your man?
Slams at? Where your slams at? Where your Talibans at, man? Fuck all. Hey, look, and we still be in the hood, bitch. I be out this bitch every day. Do this shit.
Now, there was another rapper by the name of Jada Youngin who used to be friends with Contrell YB, NBA Youngboy that is, and unfortunately they fell out over allegations that Jada Youngin released singles and a song they had together too early. Also rumors and speculations about Room 223, which consisted of NBA Youngboy's former baby mother, Janaea, and allegations would spin left. Almost the same similarities through allegations of Janaea partaking in activities with another deceased rapper, King Von. But the Jada Youngin situation would go a little bit too much because Peter Youngin would go out his ways to discredit and disrespect Jada Youngin when he would unfortunately lose his life in Louisiana. Now, P. Youngin would diss Jada Youngin's best friend, 23KB, and said, "You should have been with that man." A lot of people looked at it as disrespectful and karma soon to become. Now, there would be also more feuds between P. Youngin and other foes, formerly frenemies and friends, such as you have a great guy by the name of Bag Baby Key, who unfortunately would be unalived. And a lot of people were blaming P. Youngin, but they had a back and forth that I'm going to help clear the name of P. Youngin because he can't speak for himself. But let's look at the extent of his feuds with Bag Baby Key. Now, P. Youngin would go on to expose Bag Baby Key as a disloyal member, as showing a picture of Fredo Bang and Bag Baby Key in a video together. This would circulate amongst the ranks to disprove that P. Youngin was not the disloyal one. It was Bag Baby Key, and Bag Baby Key would respond to this in a negative light. Now, a lot of people thought that P. Youngin was the guy that was responsible for Back Baby Key's unfortunately demise. Now, P. Youngin would get falsely accused of being the guy that fatally got rid of basically Baby Key and made him see his unfortunate demise. But P. Youngin would go on to later clarify and clear things and speak on his actual friendship and relationship with Baby Key. Now, P. Youngin would go out his way to prove that he was not the one who did anything to Back Baby Key. He showed text messages and basically conversations that he had with Back Baby to show they were friends. It's just that they were not seeing each other eye to eye, and they were at odds with each other. They just weren't around each other. But it wasn't real beef to that extent nor that point. He would show more screenshots and proof as far as love towards each other, what they said to each other, and this would debunk everything that trolls and clout chasers were saying about P. Youngin. And this was a fresh of breath air because a lot of people would be disingenuous and chase content that's not true at all, therefore putting people into more altercations and instigating beef. And we don't do that over here at the I Smoke Hip Hop Live platform.
I ain't got no skill, you can't talk to me, nigga. Fuck with that side, that kill my because you know that PY gon' kill your brother. Bands out and go stuff on your mother, and after that, I go stuff on yourself. Rollo, he know that his brother, he trippin', me, he ain't gon' fuck. So, brother, tryna put my cousin up in the casket. This summer, you can't.
P. Youngin would then go on a live stream on IG Live and proclaim he allegedly stole one of his ops' chain. Not only would he go on live, he would actually speak to the alleged guy that the chain was stolen from.
What you about to do? My brother, we coming back. We gonna come handle that. We know you say you already say drop. You say drops on live, like we know what up. I just heard you. I know what it is. I ain't tripping on that. I got a whole nother chain on the way.
You know what, girl?
I got a whole nother chain on the way.
I stay blicked up, man.
All right. We gonna see about it.
Add your partner on this, man. Let's see what he talking about. Fuck all this. And tell my camera quick go. Got some hurt babies in this.
We coming.
Niggas say that boy look like John Moran. I'm saying though. I'm saying you
Also back and forths with another artist by the name of Calvary Cayenne, which would go left. So as you see here, P. Youngin would mock Calvary Cayenne after the artist got shot, basically insinuating that he allegedly had something to do with it. And Calvary Cayenne would respond immediately in response. Calvary Cayenne would go on to allege that P. Youngin has never been in the streets nor did anything to anybody, and he would go into a situation basically alleging to the fact that P. Youngin is not really like that and he's not a street dude. So now, entering the phase of the 4K Trey fallout. If many of you guys know, a couple of while ago, if not a year ago, 2 years ago, there was a fallout between NBA Youngboy, Kentrell that is, and P. Youngin. This would eventually lead to people picking sides, such by the rapper close to Youngboy by the name of Little Dump.
Say, you seen me and you ain't fuck with nothing?
I seen you. You ain't fuck with nothing. Hey.
You seen me, you ain't fuck with nothing, no.
Yeah, see, I was gonna just tell you just split up.
Turn your camera, bitch, you know where I'm at. Bitch, you know where I'm at. Stop playing with me. Hey, look. Hey, look. Hey, look. Hey, look. Say, look. Any wrong move that Cole would have made, I was gonna tear that bitch off. I was gonna switch that bitch down. Nigga. I was gonna switch that bitch down. That boy said you ain't no killer till you smoke a certified killer. And if I would, I'll do it again and spit on them because I don't like niggas. You ain't no killer till you smoke a certified killer. I'm about to pop that pain, fuck you.
Man, you know where I'm at? Bitch ass nigga. Hey, you a hoe. Nigga cracked you on your shit. Nigga cracked you. You a bitch. Nigga cracked you. Nigga cracked you on your shit, boy. Nigga cracked you on your shit. You a bitch. Nigga cracked you.
Little Dump would then respond as well and claim that P. Youngin is not 4K Trey, and things would eventually still go deeper left.
Tell him take that fucking 4K Trey tattoo off his face. You niggas hoes, man. Don't ever in your life like you can play with me again, bitch. Yeah, better watch what you say about me, boy. Yeah, watch what you say about me, bitch. I'm gonna fuck who you is, where you from. You hear me? Bitch ass nigga.
Seems like the 4K Trey situation was heating up, and P. Youngin was not hiding the fact that he was at odds with YB and Little Dump, and it really seems that it was stemming from a Little Dump situation. But this is P. Youngin explaining on as far as why he's dissing Ben 10. NBA Youngboy's / cousin, best friend, whatever you want to call it.
Oh yes, fuck me, huh? Bitch ass nigga, let the people know how when you hit land with my people rod y'all through piss and everything on you. Made you go fuck with that other side.
Yeah.
Scary ass little dude. Off the flip. Off the flip. I don't even know how I'm even responding to this weak-minded boy. Your baby 10's pussy. My brother beat one arm up and took one of their guns and I up the blick on him and made a move on and come up out the NBA J. Excellent D. We was at his house. Nigga must feel a death or something. Nigga must know they finna die. Hold on, let me go ahead and try to get my clout back up, bring up PY right quick. Come on, man. I don't be with no internet shit, nigga. You know it's smoke. What up? Why you doing all that? Come on, man. You on the internet with this shit, gangster. But bet, you coming for me, I'ma come for you on this bitch. That's how we gonna play it every time.
Now, Ben 10 would go on to explain as far as why P. Youngin was dumb for not signing a record deal that NBA Youngboy promised him that could have led to greener pastures, but P. Youngin would decline. This is Ben 10 explaining these situations.
P. Youngin so dumb as motherfucker. You pissing me off on this. You turned that down and said he wasn't going back. P. Youngin so dumb as motherfucker. You pissing me off on this live. You dumb. I was right there when nigga told you go to school, they go buy you. What new cars that nigga told? Nigga said we another $100,000. Nigga said, man, you a clown. Nigga would have told that give you a new car, $100,000, everything insecure at school. You go back to school. You did not go back to school. Man, that nigga up. When they just give you $100,000 for marriage, a new car that insecure. Just go to school. Time pass.
Now, during a brief period, P. Youngin was seeming kind of sorry for the situations and on how he was moving towards YB. He would explain it like this as far as it's Little Dump he wasn't chilling with. And because he doesn't like Little Dump and Little Dump, he wants to unalive Little Dump, he can't be around NBA Youngboy. Now, you can pause and read it for yourself as far as the explanation by P. Youngin on why he can't be around YB because of his hatred for Little Dump, and it only went further.
And hold on, wait, I got a switch on the back of my
Let me get in. Let me get in now. Hold on, stop moving.
Right here, look, you see it right now.
Lie. I got there, scroll down, see that hoe at the top. I see your message. I'm like, ooh. What you on? It's too cold for me, bro. I mean, don't tell me, don't say it on live. Don't even say it. Wait, I'm gonna let you know. Hey,
Now, YB would always respond subliminally at people like Cap and people at P. Youngin and several other people as well. So YB would let P. Youngin know, allegedly towards P. Youngin, that subliminally you could be unalive if you keep playing these semantics. YB basically lets P. Youngin know you could potentially lose your unalive life. Make that make sense for the algorithm. But he also goes further and tells him, I love this life. I ain't taking nothing personal. And this what made YB the man that he is today, being subliminal. Now, YB saw a lot of humor in the situation, or maybe he was throwing people off, but YB would go on a campaign of stop the violence. He would be a little bit humorous in some of the promotions for it, but nonetheless, he was pleading the younger ones, let's stop the violence. Now, YB, being the savvy rapper from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, one to not make any mistakes, said this: how many people have put this ish in their ears and actually went and hurt someone? How many kids felt like they needed to tote a gun and walk out of the house and tote it the wrong way?
Hey, stop the violence. Hey, look at me. I can promise you it's a bigger side of life. Stop the violence. You could be a rich nigga, you hear me? I can promise you. I'm talking about, I ain't gonna tell you what's in my bank account, bitch, but hey, stop the violence. You hear me? Thank you.
Now, P. Youngin would be emotional during a month time period or a little bit after this situation, and he would talk about being sorry. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't know if he was trolling, but this is it right here. Now, he would be in his feelings and say, I love you. I'm sorry. You ain't got to talk to me as long as you know I'm banging. I don't know what it means, but subliminal P. Youngin, he was. I like his response.
Better watch your fucking tone when you talking to the young. Cause soon as you say the wrong thing, I'm bound to take it young. Bitch, I had plenty love for you, never thought you would change your phone. And the bitch could come on, bitch, I still wouldn't even want it. Slept in second grade, thinking how I'ma turn on my damn cone. Fuck it, he get sprayed, you get paid, you face him in the stone. I been hot since 2020, bitch, like right up the corona. Spin a pin and we gon' do that shit right there again.
Now, to the people who think P. Youngin didn't have leaders around him, some of the grown people I've seen were very responsible around him because he did a skit recently with Florida Made MG. And well, not Florida Made MG. He was hotboxing at McDonald's with the other Florida skit personality. I don't know his name, but he would go on to say certain things on the video. And one of his big homies would give him a phone call and he would end up listening to the big homie and they left the McDonald's that they were hotboxing it. And I thought that was respectable and admirable by the OGs around P. Youngin.
Y'all bust some McDonald's, man. Oh, yeah, man. It's on McDonald's with it, man. Do it. Hey, don't let nobody come in. So if police come, I'm just saying, like, if police come, you gonna tell? Man, get the... Real love? Oh, show the barrage. Swear with a Patrick. It's a Patrick joint. Time to go with me, go. Bye bye. Nah, we ain't done yet. Enjoy your night. You got to? Wow. They said you gotta go. Why they say that? Why they say that? What the keys to? What they said? You live still?
Now, if you guys didn't know, P. Youngin was intelligent and he also was about his business and merchandise as well.
Actually, at 13, I took out with it.
Oh, shit.
COS.
Yeah.
This shit real business too.
I see you guys got the merch and everything for it too.
Then they got the fit on.
Yeah, he's wearing it right now. Yeah. Is your pop still involved with the brand?
Yeah.
My dad just out of jail. Yeah, he chilling.
Okay. Like, where can people get the merch at? You guys got a website set up, IG or anything?
Next week, the website, that be gonna be for sure set up. For sure.
Okay.
I feel like Bleeder. Don't rat on me. That's all I try to do. I feel like Bleeder. Don't rat on me. Don't rat on me. Check my jacket. You better not rat on me. All right?
That's why I've been doing it on that ground, bitch. I ain't know a nigga made a song. Oh,
Say, young. Be what?
you ain't tell me a nigga made a song, bitch. Now you know, bet.
That's how you end up dead, bitch. I didn't let up shots for other niggas, bitch. When it come on time, these niggas scared.
Now, I wasn't the only one cringe at what P. Youngin was doing. P. Youngin himself was cringing at what he was doing out here because he would prophesize his upcoming future and he would talk about how he might be unalived very soon. At such a young age, P. Youngin would go on to say, "Death needs to hurry up. I'm tired of waiting on this." At such a young age, P. Youngin would
So
go on to
what
say,
happened?
Def needs to hurry up. I'm tired of waiting on this ish. And people would follow it up on Reddit with similar videos. We don't know if he was trolling or not, but it was almost in a demonic way. Like what younger people don't understand, when you have this type of sensibility, you're actually protesting and professing and hoping this gets occurred. And God would grant your wish at any given time, including the Reaper. Now, what's sad that people are not talking about is the relationship that he had with NBA Youngboy's sister, who he had a child with. Now, what's eerie about this situation with P. Youngin dating NBA Youngboy's sister was a former rapper by the name of G Money, who was unalived from Baton Rouge as well, when he criticized one of NBA Youngboy's sisters, and a lot of people claimed that was one of the reasons. They were saying that was one of the reasons that G Money lost his life. But to be honest with you guys, a kid now is fatherless. And this is not a video game where you can press the reset button. I don't think this generation thinks about the consequences of their actions. Accountability is always going to be the best ability, but minding your own business and staying out the way is the best ability to be in with. Now, there were people claiming this picture right here was the actual scene of the crime of the situation of P. Youngin. I can't solidify this at all nor validate it. I would just tell people who are watching to be careful about the internet, including with my platform as well, because people on the internet can pretty much muster up anything and call it facts. I don't do that here, but I rather urge you guys be careful on who you get your informations from. Now, there was a Julio Fulio situation which I spoke to people about mostly when all these rappers meet their demise. I let you guys know, look at the numbers. Julio Fulio had gained nearly 200,000 followers only within the first 24 hours of his passing. That speaks volume onto the people who are watching these stories. I don't personally think they really care about the artist that passes away. This has become a phenomenal thing for people who are watching as far as entertainment. Now, guys like me have cried for the guys like Takeoff, XXXTentacion, and people made fun of me for shedding tears because to them, it's just a video game that they can click off of and go to the next rapper that's alive.
Wait, you be dead. We spun so many times, but this time the bullet hit his head. Don't talk too much on Instagram, I see that they got fed. Soak that shit, bitch, I'm finna crash on top his head, you know it's bread. Pussy boy, you not no gunner, if that bullet touch his leg. I'ma do this drilling after that, I'm gon' flip.
I only can imagine how the family is feeling right now. And it'll be easy for me to criticize people and say, you could do this, you could have done that. But for right now, I would like to just praise the family and say sorry. Self reflection are only the medicine that's needed for these kind of situations, unfortunately. Now, one thing I can say about P. Youngin, when it came to the youth, he definitely gave them some good words. And this was some of the things he said right here.
Okay. Okay. So what's some advice you would share to some new artists trying to get their foot in the door?
Stay in school, do your work, and work hard, and just stay on the grind and don't give up.
YouTube. Look, guys, from the bottom of my heart, this is why I love covering football because hip hop has become so traumatic and is just a weird space right now. And I don't want people to ever think this is why I promote. Because I'm a journalist, I have to give you the news. The news is the thing that helps people understand the reality of this. Because the hip hop side of this is the false sense of reality. On this platform, I only tell you this thing straightforward with no chase. That's the way we present it. With all due respect to everybody here, man, understand that the challenges in life are not the end when you're having a bad day. Think about your actions before you do an unregrettable situation. I don't know where we go on from here. But what I can do with my part is let you guys know I'm DJ Bless One. I call myself the best one because I believe in being confident. When you're confident, you believe in yourself. Even when you have the rainy days, life still propels potency that can continue to make me smile, continue to give me a reason to get up. So when I tell myself that I'm DJ Blessed One, the best one, I hope you tell yourself that as well. So ladies and gentlemen, the community that I'm trying to build is a community of love, passion, and care. We pick each other up over here. Sometimes we're combative towards one another, but it's not a feud that can lead to our demise. You either unsubscribe or you subscribe. That's it. It shouldn't be where we make back and forth whifferaws towards each other that leads to these things. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm DJ Blessed One, the best one. Love your family, love your kids, and stay blessed. Notice I say that at the end of all my videos for well over a decade. You have to love your family. You have to stay blessed. You have to love your kids. These are the vital necessity of things that make you live on and on and on, even knowing the casket date is only a few miles away. Ladies and gentlemen, you have a lovely, blessed day. Rest in peace to P. Youngin. Truly indeed.
Voice in Paradise, to be young, man. Another young one gone, man. Was definitely a talented person, a real one. So yeah, we're going to go right to the next content, which is going to be President Biden pondered his son, Hunter, on federal drug and gun charges.
CNN has learned President Biden will pardon his son, Hunter Biden. CNN Chief National Affairs Correspondent Jeff Zeleny, I believe, is with us. Jeff, can you hear me?
Jessica, yes.
Okay, what are you learning?
Look, we are just getting a statement from President Joe Biden. He's saying that today he signed a pardon for my son, Hunter, and he goes through the reasoning why. Of course, Hunter is facing a sentencing later this month, but this is really a monumental moment for President Biden. He said several months ago in June, when he was still seeking a re-election, that he would not pardon Hunter Biden, but now we are learning he is. And let's just read through this statement quickly together. He said, "Today I signed a pardon for my son Hunter. From the day I took office, I said I would not interfere with the Justice Department's decision-making, and I kept my word, even as I watched my son being selectively and unfairly prosecuted." So this is a fairly long statement, about 4 or 5 paragraphs from President Biden, but really going through why he is making this decision. He also goes on to say this. He said, "No reasonable person who looks at the facts of Hunter's cases can reach any other conclusion than Hunter was singled out because he is my son, and that is wrong." He goes on to say there's been an effort to break Hunter, who has been 5.5 years sober, even in the face of unrelenting attacks and selective prosecution. So, of course, Jessica, let's take a step back. You obviously covered the Biden campaign along with me, and this is something that Hunter Biden has been dealing with. This was a tax case, a gun case. He went through his trial in Delaware. There was another case in Los Angeles. But this is really the culmination of President Biden really making the decision tonight to sign a pardon for his son Hunter, not just a commutation of a possible sentence, but a pardon, which certainly will be part of President Biden's legacy going forward.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And as I'm reading this along with you, Jeff, I think one part at the very end is particularly striking, which is where he says, I have followed a simple principle: just tell the American people the truth, they'll be fair-minded. And here's the truth. I believe in the justice system, but as I have wrestled with this, I also believe raw politics has infected this process, and it led to a miscarriage of justice. And once I made this decision this weekend, there was no sense in delaying it further. I hope Americans will understand why a father and a president would come to this decision. It is interesting to also hear him saying, essentially, that the justice system was politicized, which is something we've heard from Republicans and Donald Trump as well.
We certainly have, and important to note that President Biden spent really the weekend with his son Hunter and the rest of the family in Nantucket, where they always do for Thanksgiving. And this is a striking, really, ending to this Thanksgiving holiday. And with this statement from the White House we're seeing tonight, it is a official document calling for a full and unconditional pardon for all crimes and punishments facing Robert Hunter Biden. So, but Jessica, the sentence that you read is so poignant. I hope Americans will understand why a father and a president would come to this decision. We will see, of course, in the coming weeks and months and years if Americans do understand that, but there is no doubt that this is part of the legacy of President Biden's one term in office, certainly something he did not want. He hoped to run for re-election. He obviously stepped away from that months ago. But clearly there was pressure inside the family. We were told really in recent weeks that Dr. Jill Biden, First Lady Jill Biden, was very supportive of the president doing something like this. The president was not sure. But we clearly have seen now he has come to this decision to pardon his son Hunter.
Yeah, and Jeff, of course, we don't have to remind people how close-knit this family is, and that Hunter is his only surviving son, that they are, of course, very, very close. And we've heard many stories about the last several years, how they talk daily and many times a day. Stick with us, Jeff. I want to go to our senior justice correspondent, Evan Perez, who is back with us. Evan, what are you hearing from sources as we're getting this news tonight that President Biden has granted this pardon to his son, Hunter Biden?
Well, certainly, Jessica, this is something that a lot of us were anticipating. We were waiting for it, even despite the fact that the president has said repeatedly that he was not planning to give his son a pardon, would not commute his sentences. Keep in mind that he was due to be sentenced in the Los Angeles case dealing with his tax problems. That was coming in the next couple of weeks, and so all of this is coming to a head, and so we've been watching and seeing what the president of the United States would do. I think, as you and Jeff were just talking about, I think we'll see what the public, the American public, arrives at. But I think it's really remarkable to sort of step back and just read some of what President Biden is saying in here. Keep in mind, he took office in 2021, promising to sort of restore the institutions and try to restore faith in those institutions, including the system of justice, obviously, the Justice Department. Those are among the big priorities with him. That's why he chose Merrick Garland, a former judge, to be Attorney General. And then if you look now where we are, what the President of the United States is saying is that essentially there are problems, there are political problems with the prosecutions that are being brought by his own Justice Department. And I think that's going to be a very, very tough pill for people to swallow on this issue, because obviously it is a thing that we keep hearing from Donald Trump, and it's the thing that animates the Trump team over the next 4 years. You're already hearing from them that they want to destroy some of those institutions that they believe are stacked against them. And so to see President Biden sort of go to the same territory is kind of a remarkable turn to watch.
And then, Evan, just legally help people understand and just remind them this full pardon, that what does that effectively mean? Again, that covers, as I understand it, all of the charges against him.
Right. As I understand and as I read this, it goes to all of the crimes and that he has now been convicted of. He was convicted of gun-related charges in Delaware over the summer. I was there for that trial, and I also was in Los Angeles for the tax trial. And, those things were both, just before it was going to trial, obviously, he ended up having a plea. But this would take care of all of those. Republicans have said, by the way, Jessica, that they want to take another look at Hunter Biden when Donald Trump takes office in January. So we'll see whether they can come up with something new that they can pursue Joe and Hunter Biden over. But for now, what this means is those charges that the special counsel David Weiss has pursued against Hunter Biden, which are gun charges in Delaware, as well as his tax charges in Los Angeles, both of those get wiped away clean.
All right, Evan Perez, stay with us. I want to go now to Isaac Dover, who is somebody who has covered Joe Biden. He has interviewed him. And Isaac, I first want to play a clip that we have of what Biden said about potentially pardoning his son earlier this year, and then we'll come back to you. So let's play that clip.
Let me ask you, will you accept the jury's outcome, their verdict, no matter what it is?
Yes,
And have you ruled out a pardon for your son?
yes.
You have.
And so obviously, I think that's when he was running for re-election, and the political environment was very different for him. You, as someone who has covered him for years, walk us through kind of his thought process, how he thinks about these things. We know, per our reporting, that this was happening over a lot of it over the weekend. But tell us more about kind of how you think he arrived at this decision.
Yeah, this is something that has been a great pain to Joe Biden for many years and was weighing on him as he decided whether to run for re-election and then was deciding whether to stay in the race earlier in the year. He believes that Hunter Biden was being prosecuted for these crimes because he put the spotlight on the Biden family by running for president. He put the spotlight on his son. He believes that there are things that Hunter has dealt with, and in some ways, some of the issues that he's had over the years, that Biden wasn't there in the same way that he might have been as a father, that some of the pressures that came on him from being in the limelight because of who his father was. And so Joe Biden has struggled with this, but look, there's really no disputing the change in position here from the clip you played to the decision that's been made tonight.
Okay.
I don't like him on the sudden, but his brains back. Jay Boogie better cool, he a new dude. Hey, Chris World, he ain't even know Chris.
Me and my boy still bang, but you know he ain't no lanes. So I get a nigga change, and he ain't shooting at no lead, bitch, he headshot. I'm the youngest on the running shit. Glock 10 red beam, and it came with a drum and shit. Back down, then we gunning shit. Run up on us, we gon' show you why we always keep our gun and shit. I'm like your ass crazy, better stop, shorty. 54 box of bullet hollows hot, shorty. Slide through the ops, turn it up and not, shorty. Big 30 hanging out that Glock 40.
What's up, what it do? Drill Time TV checking in once again. Hey man, say man, and Bloodhound Lil Jeff, big bro, Jay Boogie just touched down, and the fans are already telling him to get wild and slide for Lil Jeff. When at one point in time, Jay Boogie was Chris World and was cool with the guys over there in Trap City that took Lil Jeff out the game indefinitely. And hit the like button. We need this video to get out in the algorithm. Share this to every platform that you got, and if you ain't subscribed to the channel, it's a good time to do it now.
What's crazy? Jay,
Yeah.
You know, Jay Boogie, like us. Jay Boogie. Under us, that's our shorty. Like, I was in the field with this kid. Like, this looks that brother. Like, I'm telling you. I don't know how this gonna play out. They say he in the hood still. He Trap City. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit just all weird, bro. And you over Saturday night blood, like, but we already know Trap City and Drill City are the same shit. And water, like that's our family.
And Jay Boogie was Chris World, a younger generation of Trap City, and he claimed Bloodhound since it was formed. It was also said he even claimed LA Gang for a minute and got called out for it. But I want to say that was probably from his close affiliation with JB Bin Laden, being that JB had ties with LA and was the guy with LA in the studio when he got backdoor. From a redacted message a member posted online, it stated, while Jay Boogie was on lock, he was getting kites in jail summarizing Lil Jeff behavior on the street and how he was losing himself to the drug epidemic. While Jay Boogie was conscious and aware of what was taking place in the trenches, there was nothing he can do from behind bars. And how Lil Jeff was moving, he ain't know who he was anymore. Like the streets done took over every little bone in his body. And the little brother he last remembered him as done went through a metamorphosis that done transformed him into one of Satan's greatest soldiers. Or in other words, The King Draco we know him as today, leading many people to believe that Jay Boogie was a level-headed one out the bunch, being that he was Big Bro. And from the conversation he was having with them, you was thinking that he would come out here and change shit around, only to find out that he easily influenced and it ain't shit to stick the steering wheel in his back.
Hey, get that bitch to a G, folks. That's done at a G now, come on. All right, my turn.
Wrong let the madman, the bad man. Hey, damn, y'all ain't even know. It's my birthday too. If y'all ain't know.
This ain't no fucking 10s. Tell me y'all, this ain't no
Nah,
fucking
this ain't no 10. This that M30. We them boys, man. Them boys. We on my brother. That bitch had a G. That bitch had a G. I might drop tomorrow, folks. That bitch just had a G.
Like a fucking goofy. But look here, man, to each his own. But bro, check it out. Can y'all like wait till the cameras go off to do that there? Or don't cut them on until you do it, vice versa? Because it seems to me that the Bloodhound's the leader of the new school, and the shorty's looking up to everything they say and do. I already seen this movie play out. Pretty soon, it's gonna be time for these guys to graduate to the next high. They already on level 2. It's 3 levels to this shit. You start out popping orally. Until that don't get you where you want to go, then you get to crushing them down, running them up your nose. Eventually, that ain't gonna do nothing. Then you go get to banging, playing with your veins. So don't be caught out here strung out, shooting up, looking crazy. And while we pushing peace, we need to get that war on drugs popping again. And why is y'all letting Q50 dictate what go up y'all nostrils? He already let it be known that he a functioning addict, and we done seen more pills go up his nose than drills he been on. And the messed up part about it is the kid sucking this up like a sponge. You probably jumped off the porch with a rusty ass 22 smoking a zigzag, right? But they done evolved to jumping off the porch with switches and having snot parties and drinking liquid rum. You can't make this shit up. To the point where they full-fledged junkies by the time they turn 18. Q50 said it's daily habits, your monthly rent, and then some shit. At this point, rap just supporting the habit. I'm trying to tell you, you go fuck around and catch a little baby withdrawal out there tweaking when he's sick, and he go send something up for a fix. I'm trying to tell you. So kids, say no to drugs. If Bloodhound Lil Jeff would have been in his right mind, he probably wouldn't have made that move without his squad behind him. When you living your life like a movie, it's bound to end as quick as the credits. Meanwhile, the OGs in Trap City trying to see what's to Jay Boogie, being at one point in time he was one of theirs, and I bet they wondering, do we understand that Lil Jeff brought this crash out upon himself?
You know, you got somebody that you call your homie, you probably just back, and you think he your homie, nigga do some little snake type shit. And backstab, that's what brought all this part. Snake somebody for some type of materialistic, so that anybody can get snake for materialistic things, and there's blood behind that. Get them up because in Africa, they die getting them diamonds, so it's still blood on them regardless. So you taking it from another man, that's put even more blood on it. So it's just not a dangerous game, niggas being greedy.
I don't know. Maybe Trap City and Jay Boogie can have a sit down and hopefully come to an understanding out of all this chaos. He gotta be stuck between a rock and a hard spot, being forced into war with the guys on account of Lil Bro catching hot hands over some Jay that would've came with the game if he stayed down on it till he came up with it. But with clouded judgment, it's hard to make the best decisions. Bloodhound Lil Jeff father and brother from over there in Trap City, and him trying to play them boys like they sweet, left his family in a fucked up predicament, chasing the image to be super gangster when them streets hot, them cells, they cold, and that grave dark. So make your next move your best move. It's not mandatory that you portray this gangster role your whole life. The streets got an expiration date for everybody. The toughest niggas that used to be around currently living in the ground. And Bug, I get it. Your brother gone. And that pain raw and hit different when you lose a sibling. And it's probably just starting to hit you because you back out here in the free world. But it's a lot of folks out here that want to see you crash out like a Hunger Game tribute. But remember, they just watching from the sidelines. You the one in the arena, gang. And the streets is watching. It'd be different if them boys was on your ass. But to me, it seemed like they was calling for dialogue. And that's what you do in the struggle for power. And you can slide to the bottom of your shoes, burn out, and that still wouldn't bring Broski back. But it is what it is, and I know y'all gonna do what y'all do anyway. And hey, we gonna report about it. Because at the end of the day, we ain't got no say, and the cycle keeps continuing. So everyone's gone. You can't save a grown man, so I put my spin on it for the kids, just to let them know that it's a better way, that we grown to believe. Because I don't want to see y'all drill each other, go to jail or nothing. I want y'all to be successful, take care of y'all families, and stay out the way. Real talk, but let me know something down below. Hit the like button and share this to all your platforms to spread awareness, and I'll catch you in the next. Hey, and y'all keep y'all head up like y'all nose bleed. Don't let nothing go up your nostrils. And I'll catch you in the next one up top. Drill Time TV. I'm out.
Okay, so yeah, man, rest in paradise to Lil Jeff, man. I hope that Jake, that Jake Boogie can, get some type of agreement with Trap City, man, and they can stop the bloodshed. That'd be cool to see. All right, we got Street News TV, Chicago Drill Legends.
What down, family? It's your boy SNTV. Back at y'all with another Chirac Street Legends. And this episode is going to be about none other than Pac-Man, aka Lero, aka the originator of drill.
We getting money, man. Breaking 100 grams, shaking that 100, so 11 for the 100, fam. I'm on the line with a desert in the other hand, a rubber band strapped to a stack of the bundles, man. I'm out early, so a nigga don't like that. Pack got the Mac on me, homie, come right back. They won't dump me, I'ma let them guns spray. Hand by the camera, all I probably need is one take. Face shots crack the back of their head. They all dead in the back, getting bread in the back. They better be cool for the lead hit the back and they back get popped cause they fled through the back. What? I'm on some gutter shit, but niggas on some other shit. Sure, I keep another bitch blowing out a mother shit. They say it's game time, so I get a bang man. We don't want to change, man. We want to make it rain now.
Man comes from that BNC set or By None Crazy. He also claimed Young Money. They from Snow Block on 64th and Ellis. Pac-Man is originally from the 63rd block of Ellis, which is the next block over. That's in Dro City. Now, at the time when Pac-Man was alive, BNC was clicked up with YMB, Salt Block, and Matt Creek, which formed Dro City after Dro died. Before the death of Dro, that area was known as Murder Town.
Man, it's Lero, man, aka Pac-Man, man. And we on 64th for Ellis, Crenshaw. No, we out here. It's cold. We out here.
Dro, or Sajo, he was a well-loved member from Murder Town. He was killed allegedly by Cranktown September 8th, 2006, making Dro City.
Good Kush on Dro. We smoke number Dro. Dro City. On my mama, I gotta show him the tattoo. I gotta show him the Dro City tattoo. On my mama, that's how hood killer. Y'all already know what it is. I gotta show the hood. I gotta show the Dro City tattoo, man. God damn it. Rest in peace to my nigga Sajo, man. Sajo, man. Man, we getting man. You gotta get the tattoo, man. Get the tattoo on deck, man. Rest in peace, man. Sajo, aka Droski, man. We getting it, man. 064 BNC, we getting it, man. Come holler at your boy, man. We out here, man. We getting it, man. Young Money, man. We getting that, man.
You can't be young without the money, man. You can't be young without.
But Dro, that was a brother from another man. Lero was very well known in the streets. He was known in the streets for getting down in the streets, but he was more known for what he did on the music side. Lero would put together these ciphers, and everybody was beginning to see that Lero had bars. As a matter of fact, Lero is the one that's actually credited with being the originator of drill. Lero would put together crazy bars, and after the death of Lero, King Louis would take it to another level, and then Chief Keef would make
the coupe looking like a Sunday, a chocolate Maserati, butter vanilla guts, ballet popping it at the party. Yo, bitch on my heels, she was jocking me in the lobby. See the Maury Crocodile's pocket watching like she gon' rob me. I swipe for a room, penthouse, we at the W. The bitch had your name on the neck and on my stomach too. I said to myself, I know this big dick right with her. Got off a pill and did the dick bad right with her. And made she had another bitch helping the bitch slurp it up. Made her drink the dick till the bitch had to burp it up. B shit, catch me over easy, the streets kick with the black 740 cap, ooh with the kick back. Hey, if I'm blowing, then I'm knocking you down. Make his whole block drop like the domino effect. Run up in the spot, smack his mama with the tech, buckle with the mag if she ain't running me the bag. And I check the jakes. Bitch, I ain't got shit, you can check the plates. And when this nigga gets slick, I'ma exit his face with more holes in his face than a Pepsi crate. The best of great, the Lex color Texas state is decked with drapes. The feds wanna investigate. But I got property, copping them like Monopoly, popping the bitches off. Got a profit, I got a lot of these jerk. Get your ass patched on the shirt. Casket in the church with a black color hearse. I'm a demon. Catch a boy shopping up a Neiman. Marcus, I'm a marksman. Told the locker with the beam, man. Spot his ass, got his ass. Pop his ass, drop his ass. Treat him like the Black Hawk skates. He in the hockey bag. And I stay pocket tags. I just might cop the jag. I move the heavyweight around the state like boxing guys. Yeah.
One of the major reasons why Pac-Man is credited with being a pioneer of the drill scene is because the nature of drill is actually doing what you're rapping about. And not only did everybody like Pac-Man, but Pac-Man was somebody that the streets could vouch for. Pac-Man would eventually take his talents from the streets to the studio, as he would drop a song with LEP Bogus Boy G Count called Street Money.
Give me that street money, street money.
This would place Pac-Man on the radar, and he would begin to record more music. Pac-Man was also on a mission. He would become fed up with losing his loved ones, and he would begin to advocate for peace. He would get with certain community leaders, and he would start doing events in the name of peace. Pac-Man was only 25, but he was maturing. He was starting to realize that the streets was no way out. But little did he know, it was already too late.
Repping this Woodline Battle on Wax and Peace, man, with my big homie, man. Got my little homie out here, man. We on 64th for Ellis, Crenshaw. No, we out here. It's cold. We out here, though, man. Hey, I tell them, shit real. I know how bagging the whole strip feel. Popping out reckless and clapping it to the clip spill. You can get the tech of the Mac with the no kick still. Talking out the side of your mouth to get your shit peeled back. And I'm back in the fact. I got my bitch wheels blowing out the back of the legs. You feel the wind chill. Suicide doors and the hoes get the tip drill. 66, got them spinning like a windmill. Element. That's what the streets should say. But I'm the type of nigga gotta keep the K. On deck, on line, one call away. With a 30 and a 40 and a pound of spray. I get away. The dicks can't pat me down. All you hear is Motorola's going in and out the town. Suspect fleeing, we gon' block him off the other side. Fuck, you gotta wait. We gon' catch his ass another time. But you the type of guy that'll run and go dip cause you don't want to tow shit. Might get smacked in the mouth for the clip and come out the next day putting ice on the shit. You a Vic, and now I'll pipe you down. I had your bitch on the strip trying to wipe you down with your head in our lap trying to fight them rounds. Got him throwing up blood like he's Suwu bound, but you a clown. You don't really want it with me cause I be dumping this thing with it stuck in the sleeve so you won't know where it's coming from. You ducking the weave and running with his back smoking like he running to Jesus, huh? Call me Pops, I'm like a daddy to you. I bought you into the shit and I'll bury you too. I bought you most of the shit that you was wearing to school. Bust all in his mama, probably marry her too. East side, man, we out here, man. BSC Joe City, man, we out here, man.
That's
All
what it is.
day,
They
man.
coming, Jack. They
On
coming.
Monday, June 21st, 2010, at about 1:53 a.m., Pac-Man was chilling in the heart of his hood on 64th and Ingleside. Somehow he was ambushed and he was shot. He was taken to the hospital where he died 2 hours later. Allegedly, Cranktown is who got Lero also. Some people say that without Pac-Man, there would be no such thing as drill. And some people say that without Pac-Man, we would have never heard of King Louis. I don't know how true that is, but I know that Pac-Man was going hard in the paint. And I feel like a lot of his ops could stand to see that take place. So they had to get rid of him. Before his death, Pac-Man was working on an album called I'm Still Here. Even though he died, a couple other projects were still released. Beast Over East, Diary, Banned from TV, Roll the Carpet Out, and Dro Style, which he also shot a video to.
Every day we get that, hit on with that Joe.
Can't say for sure what bodies he had, or if he even had any bodies, but he said out of his own mouth that he did have bodies.
I dropped a couple bodies so you know that two spit.
With Pac-Man being gone, King Louis will have to step up. And that's exactly what he would do. He would take that same energy that Pac-Man started off with, and he would use it to blow up.
Where you be your win? Bitch, I'm a big old nigga.
King Louis will become a Chirac street legend with the spirit of Pac-Man. I think that what we can learn from the story of Pac-Man is this. When we seek to change our ways in life, we must also seek to change our environments, people, places, and things that can possibly remind us of that old lifestyle and bring us back to where we once were. Now with Pac-Man had moved out of the hood.
Okay.
Pac-Man stayed like on 138th. he stayed on Park Avenue. Pac-Man was actually going back to the hood, chilling, when he ended up being killed. By the internet being not necessarily a brand new thing, but a new thing in 2010, I don't think that Pac-Man understood that that one video did a lot. A couple of thousand views back in 2010 when the internet wasn't really popping like that was a lot. And I'm pretty sure that once his ops seen that, they probably decided that it was time for Pac-Man to go. Just because you've changed doesn't mean that everybody else has. So that mindset that you have to where you don't want to be in the streets, you don't want to be killing, stealing, selling drugs and doing all of this shit, it's all good in your mind. And it may help you get to another level as long as you don't hang around those same people and as long as you aren't in those same environments. To the ops, once you part of something,
Yeah, true stuff.
you part of that something for life. This
There's
has been the story
Pac-Man, man.
of Dro City Pac-Man.
Real legend.
It's your boy, SNTV.
Good evening. I know y'all tired. And I get the harsh responsibility of closing you out for the next couple of, for a little while. I'm gonna tell you how long. For a little while. And I just want you all to bear with me and bear with us. Mr. Agnes told you this morning that this is kind of like that marathon. They were kind of at that last spot, right before the finish. And I know this has been a long trial, and like every one of us has said, we thank you for your sacrifice. We know that we have taken you away from family, friends, trips, work. Maybe I didn't want to work, but from work to be here with us. And so we're going to ask that you just bear with us for a little while. Now, Mr. Weinstein said something very interesting as we speak. He said something to the effect of the state should be ashamed of themselves for targeting people of color. And I was a little taken aback. Why? Because I am a person of color. The majority of this prosecution team are people of color. And we are not targeting people of color. We are targeting gang members who decided to wreak havoc on communities in Fulton County. And the ironic part of the communities that they violated were those communities were communities of color. See, no one rarely talks about the victims in this case. But the victims in this case, most of them are people of color. Because in Fulton County, you don't get to victimize anyone in our county without being held accountable for your actions. And what we're going to ask of you today is hold both of these defendants accountable for their actions. Because they are guilty of every single crime for which they are charged. But as both Mr. Shard and Mr. Weinstein were talking, I was reminded that what is right is often forgotten or what is convenient. And see, in this case for them, it's convenient to blame Kenneth Copeland for the murder of Jonathan Thomas. But we're going to talk about that doesn't even make sense. For them, it is convenient to tell you that we have not met the elements of RICO because they're just not a gang. They just get YSL tatted on them. They just get snakes tatted on them just for the fun of it. That's convenient for them. But that's not the truth. And while it may have taken some time for us to get all that evidence out here, it took a while. Some days the evidence came out good, some days the evidence came out bad, some days I had to take a couple of breaks. At the end of the day, the evidence shows what is clear. YSL was a gang, YSL was an enterprise, they commit criminal street gang activity, they murdered Donovan Thomas, murdered Chanel Drakes, and they're guilty. And then I'm also reminded of a story that a colleague told me a long time ago about someone who worked as a border patrol officer. And this person worked as a border patrol officer for a number of years. And while they were working border patrol, a guy would come through the border with a red bike every day. And every day that that person would come through with a red bike, he had a basket on his front of the bike. And inside of the basket was fish. Now, every day, this guy would come through. And the border patrol officer thought something was kind of fishy, but he never found anything. He always found baskets with sand inside. This happened for a few months. Well, one day, the border patrol guy was leaving that job. He was going on to a new job, and he was at a bar. And who walked into the bar? The guy with the red bike. So the border patrol guy says to him, I'm getting ready to leave my job, but I'm interested. There's something was fishy about that red bike. What were you doing with that? And the guy was like, nothing, don't worry about it. Congratulations to you. The night proceeded. The border patrol guy got some more drinks in his system. He said, you know what? Can you tell me about this red bike?
Multiple sources have confirmed that Yak Gotti was stabbed in Fulton County Jail on Sunday. He suffered minor injuries and will be in court today during jury deliberations. Well, Fulton County Jail does it again, huh? This place is living hell. And remember, Shannon Stillwell also got stabbed like...
If you hood educated, I'm glad you made it. Allow me to unfold my knowledge, wisdom, and understanding from a hood brother's point of view to all of you, here, there, and everywhere. Now check me out.
Look, man, right. You know what I'm saying? All about it shit, man. Good work, good energy. Awesome. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Gratitude, all those good things. Stay rich.
Upper view.
Right. Overly. Right.
We are still on verdict watch for Georgia's longest-running criminal trial. Jurors will return next week to decide the fate of two of the remaining defendants still on this trial in the YSL RICO case. Jurors are dismissed through the holiday weekend. DeMonte Kendrick, also known as Yak Gotti, and Shannon Stillwell, they're still accused of murder tied to alleged gang activity. Prosecutors say Atlanta rapper Young Thug led the gang called Young Slime Life, but the defense argues YSL is nothing more than a music label. After 2 days of deliberations, the jury will return Monday as we officially hit 1 year of this trial.
As y'all can see, that's the brother Yak Gotti. That right there is one of Young Thug's artists. He was signed up under the YSL label, and I'm talking about, from all reports, Yak Gotti wasn't nothing to play with. I'm talking about on the streets, he was nothing to play with, and he was nothing to play with whenever he got to sit down with the police. Check it out.
That's the only, like we seen, like in my paper, you say, well, I said that'll be, I mean, that's, I don't even remember, that'll be, that was like rolling on. The 13 came after you, right? Nah, that was before me, that shit, like. Yeah, that's what they had before you. Yeah, that's it, it was like, Key. Yeah. point over whoever did the original point or whoever. They weren't just round, just, you feel me, like getting into shit, even if they was taking drugs, whatever they were doing, they weren't making it like, you feel me, known or Woody.
So what you saying, Woody brought too much life?
Too much, like, you look at his old Instagram. Too much, he just want to be seen too much. When I seen it,
I understand it. Be quiet.
yeah, but most of the time, they was like him and Woody like this. So it's like he used to feed off Woody.
So Woody used to hype him up.
Yes. Yeah.
So if Woody got the problem, him standing down for it. They say no more. What about Duke?
Duke older than them too. Yo ain't like to the point like all these old ass niggas with nothing going on. Like,
now, as y'all can see, that's Yak Gotti sitting down with Atlanta police. I'm talking about having a full course meal, giving them information about this, that, and the other. And see, the cold-blooded part about Yak Gotti is this right here. Here it is. You have a man who is a gangster. By all reports, they are saying that Yak Gotti was not to be played with that pistol. He'll fight, shoot, stab, spit, scratch, whatever you want to do on the street level. He'll do all that. But however, as you can see, Yak Gotti was the type of guy that he ain't really want to do no time because he was sitting down with the police. I'm talking about having a full course meal, telling them about all type of, inner workings and criminal activities of YSL. Now, being that he's a part of YSL, being that he's a part of the RICO, being that he was an artist, being that, people know him in Atlanta for beefing with YFN Lucci and standing on YFN Lucci's bins and stuff like that, being that he was that type of person, he's famous. But now he's being famous for the murder of Nut. Now, for those of you who don't know about the story, they are saying that when YSL killed YFN Nut, that kicked off the whole war between YSL and YFN just from that murder. And he's being accused of killing Nut. I don't know if that's true or nothing like that, but the prosecution is doing their thing in the trial, and they have connected him and the other last YFL member to the murder. Now let's get to the current events, what's going on with YSL Yak Gotti right now. They are saying that while jury is in deliberation, because remember, him and another brother are the last two standing in the YSL RICO. While the jury is deliberating, he's in the county jail, and somebody tries to stab him to death. This is the wonderful world of game banging. This is 24/7. Just because you go on the trial and your life on the line for killing somebody and stuff like that, you got the drug charges, you got the murder charges, you got the gang RICO charges. We still want to kill you. Regardless, we ain't got nothing to do with that right there. We still mad about that stuff that you did a couple of years ago. And whenever we see you, we gonna try to stab you. We gonna try to shoot you. We gonna try to beat you. We gonna try to do anything to harm and kill you. This is the wonderful world of gang banging. This is the wonderful world of being a part of a gang. These are the rewards. There's no let's time out real quick, y'all. I'm going to trial. I'm stressed out. I got a lot on my mind. I got the jury deliberating and stuff like that. Can we just time out just for a little while, y'all? And then after that, we can resume gang banging? Nah, we trying to kill you anytime we can. And that's what happened. Now, reports are coming out and saying that he was not injured to the point where he's hospitalized. I mean, he went and got his wraps or got his stitches and things like that, and he is okay. They're not saying that any vital organs were hit or anything like that. However, he was stabbed up. So what that tells us is that somebody was trying to kill him. Listen, let me tell you something. You don't stab people to be playing games. You don't stab people a little bit. Let me just poke you a little bit, dog. Let me just see. No, somebody coming like this here. Somebody coming like this here. They trying to hit that boy. They trying to kill him in the county jail. That's one part that a lot of people don't measure. A lot of people don't include into this whole lifestyle, this whole criminal lifestyle. Just because you go to jail, people die. People get killed in jail all the time. All the time. And this right here is a prime example of somebody trying to kill him because of something that he probably did years ago, because he been locked up for a minute. You see what I'm saying? So I'm talking about, well, he been in the county jail for a minute. But, you know, they trying to kill him for something that he probably done did years ago. But that's just how it go. And so now here it is, not only that his life is on the line and he got that to worry about as far as being convicted of murder, RICO charges and drug charges, but now he got people in the county jail trying to kill him. Do you want that type of stress? And all for what though? You know, what is the reason behind all this? Probably nothing. Probably just some words, or probably just this here, just gang banging. All this stress, all this misery because of this right here. It don't make no sense. It don't make no sense at all. But this is the reality of gang banging. So now, while he's gonna be coming up in the trial, probably, you know, bandaged up under his clothes and all that, or wherever they tried to stab him at, you know what I'm saying, bandaged up and everything like that, probably still in pain, got to take pain medication so that, you know, to kind of dull the pain. He still got to go sit in front of a jury where his life is on the line. And that jury is not finna give a damn about him getting stabbed in the jail or none of that type of stuff, because the jury got the murder of Nut and him being in the gang and him selling drugs. They got all that to deal with on their mind. But this is the wonderful world of gang banging. Regardless of what that brother done did, I don't want to wish death on nobody. I don't want to wish harm on nobody. I wish that we all can just kumbaya and get along and stop trying to kill each other and stop trying to harm each other. I wish that we can stop doing all that type of stuff. But the way that we are going, in the direction that we are going, I believe that it's going to be some time before we start to realize that we really need peace instead of war. But like I say, these are the decisions that we make. And whether we want to or not, he got to live with every decision that he done made while gang banging. This is hood educated, not lame related. Peace and love, and y'all take care of yourself out there. If I said anything that caused you to think, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. And if you're feeling generous, please make a small donation to the channel. Peace and love.
Lord Durk has been arrested, and it's really bad news for Durk. Folks.
Man, listen, bro. I be trying to tell y'all this stuff, and y'all don't want to listen. So that's on y'all, bro. This nigga Durk is an idiot. You know what I'm saying?
It was in two-way too, so like a lot of weird stuff. But we knew that sound like 50. Like they can't even make that up. Like if you know 50, you know he quick to even merch on her and say that.
It's Way Up with Angela Yee.
Way Up.
I'm here. Mano's
Way
here. No,
Up.
Mano.
Morning.
Way Up. We got some breaking news.
Breaking news.
All right, so In Touch got some court documents, and it says that Diddy's youngest son, Christian Combs, was served with legal paperwork by his assault accuser. This was all at Diddy's Miami mansion. They said the paper was delivered on the water. And in this lawsuit, Grace is saying that she worked as a stewardess in the yachting industry since 2018. She said she planned to work in the industry for the rest of her life, but the alleged incident with Christian has derailed those plans. She was working on a yacht named Victorious in July of 2022, and Diddy chartered this yacht for himself, and his son came along, and she said what she thought was wholesome turned into a hedonistic environment. And she said it was filled with guests who she believed were sex workers. During one shift, she claims that Christian was around and took an immediate interest in her. She thought it was inappropriate, and he pressured her to drink with him. And then she alleges that he violently grabbed her arm and began hurting her, pulled her to the seat beside him, prevented her from getting up, and she realized she was in a dangerous situation. And she felt like the tequila shot that she had was spiked, and that she then was cornered in a room, and he became physical and extremely aggressive and groped her as she pushed back at him constantly. And it goes on from there. She said she did fight him, but he stopped when another employee walked into the room. And so these are the allegations. He was officially served with those papers.
That's a lot.
Yes, so we'll see how that plays out. Now, Roddy Ricch, he has accused this YouTuber of trying to extort him for $50,000. If you recall, you saw his Grammy Award was inside of a storage unit. And according to this YouTuber, he said he found this Grammy Award, and Roddy Ricch is saying that he tried to extort him for $50,000 in exchange for his return. So here is what he had to say about finding this Grammy.
Yes, guys, it's real. I did find Roddy Ricch's Grammy in a storage unit that I paid $280 for. Roddy Ricch, if you want your Grammy back, let me know. Let's work something out.
Now, according to Roddy Ricch, he said that the reason why his items were in the storage unit and it wasn't paid for, because that's what happens, right? When you don't pay for your storage unit, it's abandoned and they just auction off everything inside of the unit. He said that he had somebody who was working for him who was in a really bad car accident and then wasn't working. So some things.
But why was the Grammy in the storage unit and not in the house?
Well, it wasn't the only thing in there. It was full of clothes and things like
Clothes
that.
is nothing.
Yes.
The Grammy should have been somewhere in the crib.
Well, according to this YouTuber, he says he then ended up getting threats over this Grammy. Here's what he said.
Yes, I got in contact with Roddy Ricch and his assistant. And no, I'm not asking for $1 million for this, none of that. All I wanted was a video of me giving it back to him, or at least a video of him telling me thank you. That's all I want. Clearly, that wasn't possible. This has turned into a nightmare for me, having this thing. Threats to me and my family.
All right. Now, Roddy Ricch, in the meantime, said that this guy tried to extort him, and he said he offered him $10,000, but then he tried to, I guess, barter and get more. Here's what he said.
Once we received the news that the kid had the Grammy and everything, called him immediately, you know what I mean? And like, bro, I got like 10 bands for you or whatever. He like, man, that ain't, I want 50,000. First he asked me for an AP. So it never was about, we're going to do it on just the strength of trying to get it back to you and all that type of It was more so about a trying to get clout off of it, or a trying to basically extort me for $50,000.
All right. So definitely two completely different sides to this story. But Roddy did say that the Grammy does mean a lot to him and that he regrets not securing it properly. So he said he didn't make any threats. All right. Well, that is your YT. When we come back, we have About Last Night. Mano, I know you were outside. Every day. Every day. I'm
not
like,
every day.
Every day
Not
it's a different
every day.
outfit. Every day you outside. You got a Supreme coat on today.
Not every
I mean, this is out of
day.
control.
Not every
All
day.
right. Well, let's get into it. About Last Night is next. It's Way Up.
Way up.
Tonight, more accusations against Sean Diddy Combs, and now one of his sons. A new 31-page lawsuit filed on Thursday details a trip in 2022 where the plaintiff alleges she was working as a stewardess aboard a yacht owned by Combs when his son, Christian, drugged and sexually assaulted her. The lawsuit alleges that an audio recording made during the night in question is evidence of the woman denying his advances as he gropes her. The plaintiff's lawyer provided those clips to NBC News. In one recording, a woman, believed to be the alleged victim, is heard saying,
"Excuse me, you don't touch my legs like that. I'll move my legs the way I want to. If I want to do this, then I will. You don't touch my legs like that."
Soon after, according to the lawsuit, Christian speaks and tries to get her to stay.
Who can I talk to? I'm gonna say I requested you right now.
Well, you can take your hand off my for the first thing.
According to the lawsuit, the alleged victim then left the recording studio and attempted to resume her stewardess duties. But the suit alleges Christian found her again, this time asking her to find him a place to sleep. She claims she showed him to a cinema area, but instead of resting, she alleges in the suit that he became violent and wouldn't let her leave. He groped her, the lawsuit claims, took his clothes off, grabbed her arms, and tried to force her to perform oral sex on him. The woman claims she fought him off until someone else walked in. The lawsuit includes photos of a bruised forearm, allegedly the victim's. As for Christian's famous father, the suit claims he turned what was sold as a wholesome family excursion on his yacht into a hedonistic environment where employees were exposed without their consent to unlawful drug use, sex work, and general chaos. Representatives for Christian and Sean Combs did not respond to NBC's request for comment. It comes amid a wave of legal troubles for the rap mogul, who had 2 of his homes raided last month and is facing multiple sexual assault and sex trafficking lawsuits, allegations he has denied, and so far has not been criminally charged. Legal experts say prosecutors could use the claims in the new lawsuit to build a broader case.
There is a statute under federal law called RICO, the Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organizations Act. It allows prosecutors to really connect those dots between the various criminal acts, such as the sex trafficking, such as forced labor, such as all of those allegations that we have read, which, if proven, would constitute together a larger criminal enterprise.
Okay, with that, Ellison Barber joins us now in studio. Ellison, great to see you. So this is not the first lawsuit we've seen where other people are named, but has anyone been criminally charged yet?
So related to all of this legal activity, so far there has only been one known arrest, and it was for a 25-year-old associate of Diddy's. And interestingly, he wasn't charged with anything related to sexual harassment, sexual assault, or sex crimes. It was a charge related to possession of cocaine. And Diddy's lawyers have pointed to that in the past to say, look, Diddy has not been arrested or criminally charged. In fact, after that raid happened on 2 of his homes, they released a statement calling that raid an overuse of what they described as military level force, and also saying, we want to remind people in all of these criminal and or civil different allegations that have come forward, Diddy has never been arrested or charged. And that is true still at this point. But from the legal experts we've spoken to, they say that could change. And sometimes prosecutors are waiting to build an even bigger case, not just against one person, but maybe multiple.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.
Rapper Diddy is named in another civil lawsuit, but this time it is his son that is the main defendant. A woman accuses Christian King Combs of sexually assaulting her on a yacht. We are going to break down this latest legal action as Sean Combs remains embroiled in an apparent sex trafficking investigation. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. We told you just the other day, right here on Sidebar, that the attorney who filed one of these bombshell lawsuits against Sean Diddy Combs on behalf of his client, a former Diddy producer named Rodney Jones, would likely be filing another suit against Combs' son, Christian, and that has just happened. Yes, in fact, the yacht incident, which we're going to get into, was mentioned in Jones's lawsuit against Diddy, with Jones claiming in the complaint that he had personal knowledge that Christian drugged and sexually assaulted a woman. And a footnote was included that a complaint would be forthcoming. Now, at the time, I was wondering if Jones would be the one suing Christian. After all, he already sued Christian's brother and Diddy's other son, Justin. But I was struggling to figure out what would be his cause of action against Christian. Well, it turns out that Jones is not suing Christian. It is actually the woman who was allegedly assaulted by Christian, and she is being repped by Jones's lawyer. I will explain. So first, this development comes almost 2 weeks after Diddy's homes in Miami and Los Angeles were raided by Homeland Security investigators. It's part of a sweeping sex trafficking investigation by the Southern District of New York, or at least that's what it's being reported. That's what sources from law enforcement are indicating. Now, Diddy's two sons, Justin and Christian, they were seen in handcuffs outside of that LA home during the raid. They weren't under arrest. They were merely detained while officers were assessing the situation and going into the home. But Diddy, Justin, and Christian, they have all been named in these very big lawsuits. But remember, that is civil. That is the civil arena. None of them have been arrested or charged with any crime related to this apparent criminal investigation. But our analysts here on Sidebar expect that at least one arrest will be coming soon. But now we fast forward to Thursday, when attorney Tyrone Blackburn, the man already representing Rodney Jones, filed a civil complaint on behalf of his client, Grace O'Markey. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing her last name, but I believe it is O'Markey. Grace O'Markey in Los Angeles Superior Court, accusing 26-year-old Christian Combs of drugging her and sexually assaulting her in December of 2022 when she was working in a charter boat in St. Martin. So according to the lawsuit, O'Markey says that she had been working as a steward, providing food and drinks on that yacht for a 12-hour period. And she was 25 years old at the time. She believed that the trip would be a, quote, wholesome family excursion, but says it, quote, turned into a hedonistic environment, even describing rampant drug use among sex workers and celebrities who came on board. She believes that the alcohol on the yacht had been laced with drugs because she says women would have one drink and then almost immediately pass out or start falling over. This is, by the way, something that it was also alleged in Jones's lawsuit, that Combs would spike the drinks of different people. But focusing on Christian Combs, O'Markey says that Christian Combs had been staying at a villa on the shore, but that he would come onto the yacht in the evening to party. And on December 28th, 2022, Christian reportedly arrived very intoxicated and then proceeded to pressure O'Markey to take shots of tequila. She did. Christian allegedly tried to get her to drink more in the yacht's makeshift studio. O'Markey alleges that Christian kissed her neck, kissed her face, as he groped her legs, breasts, and private areas. O'Markey reportedly told Christian, quote, "Excuse me, you don't touch my legs like that. I'll move my legs where I want to. If I want to do this, then I will. You don't touch my legs like that." O'Markey then says that she told Christian she couldn't stay with him unless it was approved by a supervisor, all of whom she knew would be asleep at the time. So this was a way for her to get out of the situation. She claims that Christian said, "Who can I talk to? I'm going to say I requested you right now." O'Markey then says she responded with, quote, "Well, you can take your hand off my ass for the first thing." O'Markey says that she tried to go back to her work, but Christian found her again, wanted her to find him a place to sleep for the night. So she ended up taking him to the cinema room for the yacht, which doubled as a place for people to sleep. And she claims that is when Christian blocked her and groped her, took off his clothes, tried to force her to perform oral sex on him. She says that she was able to fight him off until someone came in. Now, the lawsuit goes on to say that O'Markey told the yacht captain what happened the very next day, but he didn't believe her, didn't do any sort of real investigation. She says the captain retaliated against her for months after the alleged assault before ultimately firing her in May of 2023. Now, aside from her account, aside from a potential other witness, right, the person that allegedly walked in on this, what proof is there that this happened? Well, she reportedly has photos of the bruises that she says were caused by this event with Christian Combs. But she also claims that in that studio, during that first interaction at the time, was Rodney Jones, that former Diddy music producer I mentioned, the one who is suing Diddy. He's known as Little Rod Jones. Remember, he had been basically living with Diddy while the two worked on his latest album. As we discussed on previous sidebars, Jones made multiple allegations against Diddy in his own lawsuit, saying that there was rampant drinking, drug use, sexual assault during Diddy's parties. He claims that he was groped by Diddy, that he was the victim of sex trafficking as he was forced to engage in sex acts with sex workers. He even claims that Diddy groomed him for homosexual sex and facilitated for him to be sexually abused by actor Cuba Gooding Jr. He also claims that there are hours of audio and video footage documenting Diddy's alleged crimes and misconduct. And according to Miss Omarkey, Jones taped this event with her. Yes, the lawsuit provides transcripts of audio recordings, and these audio recordings purportedly show, or you can hear, kissing sounds, her telling Combs not to touch her, her allegedly asking about whether she was drugged. Now, we haven't heard these tapes here on Law and Crime yet, but if they are what they purport to be, that is a huge piece of evidence. And remember, when we're talking a civil case, when we're talking lawsuits, the burden of proof is much lower than a criminal case. It's just preponderance of the evidence, more likely than not that this happened. So the civil suit accuses Christian of assault, battery, sexual assault, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. They're a big part of this lawsuit. She goes into the mental anguish that she has gone through, the emotional harm that she has suffered as a result of that. It's important in order to prove damages. And by the way, she is claiming unspecified damages, so she hasn't put a number amount on it. But Diddy, let's go back to him. He is also named as a defendant. He is accused of aiding and abetting Christian's behavior, as well as having premises liability because he was the leaseholder of the yacht. Now, premises liability means that you have a duty to keep people on your property safe from injuries. We actually saw a lot of that same kind of theory in the Jones lawsuit when he was talking about this shooting that happened at Chalice Studios, and the owners and occupiers of that studio should just be as responsible as the people who allegedly engaged in that shooting that he was present for. Now, by the way, not sure if these new allegations could play a role in a future federal criminal prosecution of Combs. We're talking so much about the investigation into them. It could be that this is just an isolated incident here and could not be part of a sex trafficking charge. Although I do wonder if this Christian Combs incident or alleged incident could be part of a potential RICO or racketeering charge. As I mentioned on a previous sidebar, when I laid out potential charges that Diddy could face, if we are talking about conspiracy to violate the RICO statute, RICO organized crime, that's what I'm talking about here, that there was a criminal enterprise. To prove that, you would need to show that there was an agreement to break the law, there was an agreement to have this criminal enterprise, and that there were steps or overt acts that were taken in furtherance of that criminal enterprise. Overt acts don't even have to be crimes. They could just be events. They could be things that happen. So could this be an example of an overt act? Could this be an overt act to further this enterprise of illegal sex and power? Could be a stretch. Yes, just something that came to my mind. Now, Miss Omarkey, her attorney, Tyrone Blackburn, said after this lawsuit was filed, quote, "Like father, like son, it gives us no joy or pleasure in filing this suit against Christian Combs, who has clearly adopted his father's pattern and practice of depravity." So far, there has been no response from Christian or his attorney at the time of this lawsuit. But a little side note about Tyrone Blackburn, the attorney representing Miss Omarkey and Mr. Jones. United States District Court Judge for the Southern District of New York, Denise Cote, had some very harsh words for Mr. Blackburn and has even submitted a referral to the New York Federal Court Grievance Committee, claiming issues with Blackburn in 5 cases. In her order, she writes, quote, "Significant resources have been spent by judges of the court and defendants named in actions he has filed to address glaring deficiencies in his filings. A referral to this court's grievance committee is warranted." Judge Cote goes on to write, quote, "A reasonable inference from Blackburn's pattern of behavior is that he improperly files cases in federal court to garner media attention, embarrass defendants with salacious allegations, and pressure defendants to settle quickly." She goes on to write, "Indeed, his submissions to this court have been rife with disturbing allegations against the defendants and defense counsel." So the big theme here is that he allegedly files lawsuits in the wrong jurisdictions and courts and even allegedly called a defense attorney, quote, a disgusting racist. Now, this is being reported by Billboard. And in fact, Blackburn wrote an email to Billboard responding to Judge Coates' order saying, quote, not sure how this is at all relevant to Rodney Jones's case or any other case I have. This will not have any impact on my ability to proceed in Mr. Jones's case. Although Judge Coates' decision was a referral to the SDNY's grievance committee and not a sanction, I plan on appealing the decision. But remember, the Jones lawsuit was filed in the Southern District of New York, a federal court. So it does seem to have some impact, if you ask me. And look, while we don't know the specifics of these allegations, they do come on the heels of other criticism from other lawyers. After Blackburn filed the lawsuit on behalf of Mr. Jones, Combs' attorney, Sean Holley, alleged that Blackburn ignored basically exonerating evidence. The quote was, our attempts to share this proof with Mr. Jones's attorney, Tyrone Blackburn, have been ignored, as Mr. Blackburn refuses to return our calls. Holley goes on to say, we will address these outlandish allegations in court and take all appropriate action against those who make them. Then the attorneys for Universal Music Group, one of the defendants who are also being sued by Rodney Jones for their alleged participation and facilitation of the abuse and trafficking claimed by Jones, they argued that the claims were so, quote, offensively false that one of these attorneys, Donald Zakarin, wrote, a license to practice law is a privilege. Mr. Blackburn, plaintiff's lawyer, has misused that license to self-promote, gratuitously, falsely, and recklessly accusing the UMG defendants of criminal behavior. So a lot of back and forth that we're seeing right here. And again, to be clear, everything that Diddy and his sons are facing are accusations. They haven't even been criminally charged. These are civil lawsuits. There has been no finding by a judge or a jury that they are liable at this point. Having said all of that, this is a very significant development, and we will see where it goes next. That is all we have for you here on Sidebar. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us. As always, please subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Jesse Weber. Speak to you next time.
Come on. Roddy Rich. There's no way this was his freaking Grammy. Roddy Rich Grammy.
All right, so today we're going to be talking about this TikTok guy, Preto Hunters. That is the name of his account on both Instagram and over on TikTok. They also have a YouTube account. And we're talking about this guy today because he just found Roddy Ricch's Grammy that he won for his feature with Nipsey Hussle in a storage locker that he purchased for $280. Now, I have seen these type of people before. They go to these storage auctions. They purchase storage units that have either went unclaimed or unpaid, so the storage facility will auction them off. They got TV shows and stuff like that on TV about this, and this guy just hit the lick of a lifetime, or at least it would have been. But the reason we're talking about this today isn't necessarily because he found the Grammy. While it's a cool find, we're talking about this because apparently there was some drama surrounding this whole thing, right? Roddy Ricch found out that this guy had his Grammy, that he had purchased his storage locker, and according to this guy, Roddy Ricch or somebody on Roddy Ricch's team became aggressive. They began to threaten this guy, according to him, allegedly. They began to send him pictures of his own house, his full social, right? Things that might lead him to believe that he wasn't so safe after purchasing this storage locker. And we're going to get into more of that here in just a second. But before we do, I want to play y'all the clip of this guy actually finding the Grammy.
What is up, everybody? We got another abandoned storage unit, 5x5. This is the second one of the day. $280 we paid, and let's make some money, right? Let's go. $280. The reason I bet on this unit, I saw the PS5 little thing right there, Yeezy sled, and mainly that suitcase right there. I searched it up. That's a Toomey suitcase. $1,000 it goes for. Used probably, let's see, a lot less. All right, let's see if it's trash or treasure in here, guys. And What do we got? What do we got? Coach La Libre. This looks nice. Look at this. Yo. Oh my God. Let's go. We just came up. We just Look at this. Louis Vuitton brand new with the tags. $1,520 retail. Jaquemus. Oh my God. Yo, we came up. We came up. We came up, baby. Drop in the comments for your boy. Jaquemus. I think this is crazy. There's another. Bro. Let me take a deep breath because I'm like my hair and Preston. Yo, baby, come on, bro, come on. This is the best $280 unit in my life. Hold up, guys. We just got the suitcase open. I didn't want to peek. Live reaction. It could be empty, but there could be something good. Oh, all right, you guys ready? Come on, come on. What the heck is this? Roddy Rich. There's no way this was his freaking Grammy. Oh. Roddy Rich Grammy? Was this his freaking locker? Did we just find Roddy Rich's locker? Yo, oh my God, he didn't leave me anything else, but I don't even know what to say. This is priceless. The recording and camera person. I just found the Roddy Rich's storage unit. 5x5. He left me some goodies in here. I'm recording our Roddy Rich FIFA Best Rap Performance with Nipsey Hussle and Hit Boy, 2019. Look at this. Oh my God, this is crazy. Oh my God, you know, Sonny, bro. Rich, we checked it. It says $520 credit. We put it in. Still has the credit, so that's a nice little bonus. Looks like I have $520 in pizza. Roddy Rich, if you're seeing this, if you want it back, send me a message. Let's work something out. Obviously, we're going to get everything on video, but let me know. Let me know.
Right, so this guy finds the storage locker, and obviously this is something that he does as a business professionally, right? So when he found it, instead of throwing the Grammy up on eBay or selling it online, he made that video where he said, "Hey, Roddy Rich, I found your Grammy. I purchased it legally. If you are interested in getting it back, hit me up. Let me know." Which, I ain't gonna lie, that's probably what I would have did too. It seems like a pretty important artifact. Maybe you would want it back. Now, I'm gonna be real. If it was my Grammy, it probably never would have been in storage in the first place. I would have definitely had that thing on the shelf. I don't know why Roddy had this thing in a storage unit, just sitting there collecting dust, but hey, to each their own, I guess. But the guy seemed pretty level-headed. Like, hey, Roddy, if you want the Grammy back, hit me up, let me know. I'm willing to work something out. And apparently Roddy Rich or somebody on his team did reach out to this guy. They did find his video, except for instead of them having a friendly exchange, Roddy Rich paying to get back his property that this guy, keep in mind, legally purchased. Apparently, when him or his team reached out, like I said earlier, they came with threats. So this resulted in this guy making another video where he was pretty much like, "Hey, look, this has turned into a nightmare situation for me, bro. I don't want no smoke with nobody, right? I'm willing to meet whoever, and I just want to give this thing back."
All right, guys, the update you guys have been waiting for, and to be honest with you, I think it's time I made this video. I need to clarify things. A lot has been going on these past couple days since I found this. Never did I think it was going to turn into a nightmare, but whatever. Let me tell you guys, yes, I got in contact with Roddy Rich and his assistant, and no, I'm not asking for $1 million for this, none of that. All I wanted was a video of me giving it back to him, or at least a video of him telling me thank you. That's all I want. Clearly, that wasn't possible. Guys, this has turned into a nightmare for me, having this thing. Threats to me and my family, pictures of my house, my whole full social, all my family is getting affected by this. All the people saying that, and I'm getting threats saying to take down my videos, that it's a threat, it's a disrespect to Nipsey's family. Guys, this was never my intent. Respect to Nipsey's family and everyone. You guys know that this is what I do for a living. I post videos of what I find in storage units. Did I think this was gonna be in there? No. All I made was a video of me finding this, and that's it. Never was it to disrespect anybody or any of that. I just want to clarify that. You guys know this is what I do for a living. Obviously, I don't want anything to do with this anymore. It's affected me and my family. Never did I think that me trying to do something good by giving it back would turn into a nightmare. Clearly, I think at the end we got it resolved, and I'm gonna go to the police station today meet up with, I guess, two of his assistants that said that we're gonna pick it up, and that's it. I don't want anything to do with it, nothing anymore. So yeah, guys, I'm gonna go to the police station today, give that back, and bye. That's it. No disrespect to anyone. I don't want you guys to think that my videos are this. No disrespect, respect to everyone watching. This was never my intent. All right.
Now, I don't know what Roddy Ricch or his team said to this dude, but you could tell he was shook. He absolutely did not want any part of this. In fact, he was like, you know what? I'm going to the police with this, which is probably what I would have done, bro. Like, I'm not trying to beef with y'all over this Grammy, bro. Although I wouldn't have gave it back to him for free. You definitely gonna have to pay me. But he was shook. He didn't really want no smoke with them. So he ended up setting up a meeting at the police station where he did give this back to Roddy Ricch.
No, there's no way. Yo, what's up? Are you doing? Yeah, what's your name? What is it? I was supposed to meet with Benjamin. Nah. No. He's on the phone. Yo, I thought I was supposed to meet with Benjamin. Okay. All right. I just want to make sure that you checked it and everything's good. This is your problem now. Yeah. All right. I just want you guys to check it. I'm giving you back one piece. I don't want any problems or anything. It's there in one piece. You guys see it? Am I picking up the book too or no? No, it's a close too, right? I'm not gonna like. I don't know. Could we just give you cash for the food? I mean, you guys didn't tell me anything. It was just a Grammy. I'm giving back. I want everyone to see I'm giving back in one piece. I don't want any more problems. You get me? I appreciate it. So this is yours now. So I want everyone to see that. That's it. All right. I appreciate it, bro. All right. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
So like he said, he met him at the police station. He gave it right back to him. I didn't see them give him any money or anything like that. So I'm assuming that he just gave it back for free. But Roddy Ricch actually did respond to this. And everything may not be exactly how that guy portrayed it, because he portrayed it like he was just trying to give it back. You know, I'm sure he wanted a little money for it, rightfully so. But according to Roddy Ricch, when he reached out to this guy was like, hey, if you want it back, you're going to have to buy me an AP, which is a very expensive watch. Some of them cost $50,000 to $100,000 and up, right? Then he told him he would sell it back to him for $50,000. Roddy said, hey man, I was trying to give him 10, but he didn't want to take the 10. He was acting like the little 10,000 I was going to give him wasn't nothing, right? And he tries to clear up this whole situation and the claims that guy made that he was under threat if he didn't return it for free.
It was never about returning the Grammy, a video, all that type of. It was more so about $50,000. Once we received the news that the kid had the Grammy and everything, we get on the phone with him immediately. We found the video at like 1,000 views, called him immediately, you know what I mean, and like offered him something, but he was basically saying like the money we was on ain't, you know what I mean? I'm like, bro, I got like 10 bands for you or whatever. He like, man, that ain't shit. I want 50,000. First he asked me for an AP. Then he asked me 50,000 and he wasn't, you know, so it never was about, oh, you know what I mean, we're gonna do it on just the strength of trying to get it back to you and all that type of. It was more so about trying to get clout off of it, or trying to basically extort me for $50,000. He told me to go to sleep and wake up on it, or go to sleep on it, think about it, right? You know, and this is something that's sentimental to people from where I come from, you know what I mean, and just it's sentimental to us, you know what I mean? So for what he's talking about with just people feeling the type of way, he could have got heckled by somebody, I don't know, you know what I mean? And just sending him whatever. People who love Nipsey and who love Roddy, who just, you know what I mean, care a lot about it and want to see that back into my possession. So I don't know what he's talking about with the threats and all that, bro. I got 2 kids, bro. I only play, you know what I mean? I just mind my business, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know what he's talking about with that, but you know, the main thing was just trying to get it back, right? So boom, we come to an agreement of, all right, well, we'll meet you here and get a Grammy back or whatever. So we was like, you know what, since you're bringing it back, we're going to give you some money. You know what I mean? We're going to give you some money for that. Yeah, y'all worried about the 2 kids. We're going to give you some money for that. So we was like, bring the clothes too, and we'll throw you some money. You know what I mean? And when he ended up coming to the police station that we met up at, he had 2 cops, 3 with cameras trying to create a moment out of it. And it just was that the whole situation put a bad taste in everybody on the team out. It put a bad taste in everybody's mouth. So everybody just wanted to get the situation done with, wanted to pull up, get the Grammy, you know what I mean, and maybe take care of him if he wanted to be cool, you know what I'm saying? But he didn't pull up with anything, which was confusing to bro that pulled up.
Yeah, bro. So that's what we got. That's what Roddy Ricch had to say about it. I ain't gonna lie. Finding a Grammy in the storage unit and the Grammy being from only 2019. This ain't a Grammy that was won in the 50s or 60s, bro. This is a Grammy. It's just a couple years old, just sitting in the storage. That's kind of dope. The way that the situation played out is not, but yeah, that's what it is. Y'all gotta let me know what y'all think about it in the comments down below. Anyways, that's basically it for the video, guys. If you enjoyed the content, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, tap the notification bell so you get notified every time I upload a video. As always, it's been fun rocking with y'all, man. I'm out.
Good morning, big useless. Good morning. Listen, you was supposed to still be out the country. And I told you, I promised you I would leave you alone if you stay out the country. But you back. I thought it was gonna be a permanent trip for you. But now,
Oh, okay. Let's dig into this topic. Holy shit! What is this?
Blueface, baby.
How is this the way that this loaded? Maybe I'll make it full screen. Okay, here we go. Blueface has announced, my first business, Blues Fish and Soul, was a successful failure. I decided to revamp, and I'm back with even more seasoning. The King of Crabs grand opening, January 20th, 2025. Hashtag free Blueface. Note who has the pinned comment. I want a job here. I'm standing on it.
Yeah, the King of Crab.
Well, you know, I would like a job there. I feel like I could bring something to the table.
Looks like the same location, so I'm assuming up there, Santa
he's
Clarita.
rebranding.
Yeah.
Wait, so you're telling me that he like chose this name? He didn't. Are you
Of
sure?
course. For sure he did.
Wait, okay. So look, this is the original.
Yeah, look, that's what I'm saying. It looks like the same spot. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's exactly the same spot. Wait. No, look.
Diamond in the wall by the sign over there.
That's why. And that's why I say
Diamond in the wall.
661 because it's Santa Clarita.
Oh well, yeah. It still has the same sign. But look how this is like a straight line across, and then look here, it's a straight line with a dip.
No, that's because it's a different way.
That's a
the
different
same
angle.
diamond that's at the end of the word. Look, you see that little square pattern over there? That's the same.
You see, there's more sky in this picture.
Yeah. Okay, it is the same place. All right. So you think he's just trying to be funny? That's $200K I ever spent. I'm all done with the restaurant. I got the final sign off from the city today.
I mean, he's clear. I mean, people do enjoy like that. You know, like that's bomb ass food. You
Right.
feel me? Like fools love the king crabs.
So
and all
okay,
that.
but Blueface, arguably the top crip in the nation.
That's
the most.
the name of the fucking show. King of Crab.
You notice how I censored it? It says
Carbs.
Blueface is king of, and then I censored it.
Yeah.
That's dope, though.
You think I'm over whooping?
Nah.
That's very respectful.
Nah, because I looked at it, I'm like, that's dope. Like you the head crip around here, the King of Crabs.
I think he's like funny for doing that.
Yeah,
Like,
that's hard. That's what I said.
yeah.
That's hard. I'm a troll. I understand.
Yeah.
Okay, but do you think that, I guess I'm just like surprised to see him make an edgy joke that plays off of the negative slur that you would use for somebody like him if you were in that line of work in such a permanent way, by putting it on as the name of your business. You can't easily get away from it. So if it does offend people, if people in your orbit are offended by it, you're stuck with it. And from my perspective, when you want to choose a brand name, you don't really want to go with like an edgy joke that you might think twice about later. Like, this isn't an Instagram caption. This is something that it would be a very big pain in the ass to change.
It's in Santa Clarita. Hold on. It's in Santa Clarita.
Right.
And I prefer the homies don't come to this motherfucker. Because, nigga, the ops don't want no discount. Nigga.
I feel like, I honestly feel like it is kind of like an Instagram caption in reality. He's doing like, this is clearly a money grab. Bro's locked up. They need to keep the brand going. They need to continue to pump money through the Blueface brand. So it makes sense. Okay, well, what can we do? Boom, we're gonna reopen the restaurant. Let's give it a viral title. You're talking about it like he needs to be married to this name, like it's something super permanent. The first restaurant wasn't
They
even
bought the sign. That sign cost thousands of dollars to put up there.
But the first restaurant wasn't even open for a year. So it's not like a super sense of commitment at the end of the day. It's kind of
okay,
like
but it is the same restaurant.
It is the same
You
restaurant.
think he was paying rent on it this whole time?
Most likely.
Brick, would anybody get offended by this?
He did. He wasn't paying rent on it. You know, it had burnt down or whatever had happened to it. They had vandalized it, so it probably got an insurance check, and then it was undergoing the reconstruction or whatever you call that.
To be fair, that was like 3-4 years ago.
No,
when
it was like 2.
Well,
was it?
So the restaurant wasn't that long ago because remember they're like AD and them did We Hungry or We Started like at over
and
there.
And then mind you, he been in jail, so of course all the shit's gonna move a little bit slower than if he was on the streets. He probably thought of it when he was on the streets. Like, I'm gonna revamp it. Okay, I'm not gonna call it Blues. He probably didn't have the name of the shit. Then he was in jail being funny. You know, that's where you
Or he
generate the
had
best
nothing to do
ideas.
with it. Someone was like, "Hey, this is what we finna do. Are you cool with it?" And he was like, "Yeah."
King of Crabs, he didn't have
Hell
nothing
no,
to do
he
with
had
it.
something
What the
to do.
fuck?
It's possible.
Let somebody text me that ain't me. Nigga talking about, hey, let's name your restaurant.
Imagine
King
me
of
telling
Crabs.
Brick, hey, I got this great idea for what we're gonna call this restaurant.
The fuck?
Now
You're assuming that there's no other like Crips homies involved in his organization.
I'm hoping, I'm praying that it's not.
I've been around the Blueface network, and I feel like he's the one with the edgy sense of humor. He's the one who's going to make this kind of joke.
For sure.
The rest of the dudes that he be around seem like they're a little bit more serious.
More reserved, yeah.
On average. I'm a little surprised, but okay, but you tell me, because I feel like when I look at the gangbanging landscape, quite often there'll be like a dude who's in a gang or whatever, they think something's funny. There's always somebody to tell them that it's not funny and that they're actually mad about it and that now we need to squabble or something like that. When we look at the many tens of thousands of people who might be considered Crips in Southern California, is there going to be somebody who's like offended enough by that name to do something about it? Or is it, Blueface have enough equity built up as a professional dude?
Somebody chasing it is gonna have something to say, but other than that, it should be like motherfuckers already know he turning a negative to a positive. Did they trip when bro made the song "Ain't a Regular Crab"? Told you.
No, but I think
You
everybody.
get what I'm saying?
But he's on a certain level in terms of notoriety. He's a little less known, and it's just a song title, and it's a song
But
title
he's
that
more in the streets with niggas that ain't playing with that type of
for
shit.
sure. But
like
but also like everybody who like understood that song name was like, oh, that's clever as fuck that he took something that somebody.
But that's clever too.
It is.
That's clever. Yeah, like whoever doesn't look at that as clever as a business move, like, oh, he got to put like. Just right now, it's shaking up everything just because of the name. We ain't tasted it.
But it's also you can say it about your. You can say whatever you want about yourself.
Yeah.
You're a gay dude. You can call your friends fags, but if you're a crip, I guess you could call your restaurant that.
It is great marketing though, because we would not be having this conversation if it had any other name. There would not be a prolonged
if it was
conversation.
Blue Soul Food back open
especially
again,
because he
it'd
already
just
had
be-
it before.
Yeah, be like, all right, Blueface restaurant. That's a non-topic.
We ain't tasted a crip leg from there or nothing yet.
But now, you feel me? Now we
can't wait.
Yeah, I need the grand tour. Roll out the blue carpet for a player.
All the pretty girls stand up. All the pretty boys stand up. Pretty boys in the building.
I keep a couple killers round me when I move.
Now, YouTube family, man, as y'all already know, Soulja Boy Tell 'em is the undisputed champion of the internet. Now, why anybody would question that, I have no clue. Now, here it is today, YouTube family. Soulja Boy Tell 'em and that boy Plies has been going back and forth for about a week now. Oh my God. It's just as entertaining as y'all expect it to be. Now, allegedly, Plies is standing adamantly and firm on striking and suing anybody who uses any of the sample from his song My Goons. And with that being said, that sample is being used in hundreds of songs across multiple different streaming platforms. And Plies alleges that Soulja Boy, of all people, would steal his sample and not credit him for him. And guess what song it was, YouTube family? Pretty Boy Swag. No, man. Rock-headed Plies is trying to sue Soulja Boy for a song that came out then 20 years ago. Dawg. Now, y'all know us in the black community now. Every time somebody go to suing somebody for something petty like that, what we say about it? He must be going broke. For one thing for certain, and two things is for sure. I'm not here to speculate whether or not Plies is going broke, because I'm pretty damn sure he got way more money than Cliff, man. No, man. We just here today to go over the back and forth between Plies and Soulja Boy. Now, Plies should have known better than to pick any type of beef with Soulja. To the point where, actually, are y'all running the play? This could be promotion for both of them, because there's no way Plies has willingly went at the king of everything and the first to do anything, Soulja Boy tell him. So after Plies sat up there, you understand me, and said Soulja Boy stole that sample from his song, Soulja Boy and Plies would have a back and forth, and we finna go ahead and jump off into that right now.
They talking about some, man, you know Plies on you. Plies, if you don't sit your bro down, what the fuck wrong with your cheap? Pretty Boy Swag is not your bitch. So you want to wait 10 years to try to sue a nigga for a beat. That is not your beat, crazy man. What the fuck is wrong with you, Plies? Need to change your name to Lies, because you a motherfucking lie. You know that ain't your motherfucking beat, bro. What the fuck wrong with you? You should have just said, hey, bro, I'm broke. Let me hold something. You Plies, you don't sit your bald-headed down something. Your motherfucking hairline in the middle of your head. Fuck out of here. That beat is all original music. You only can sue somebody if they sample your song and don't get it cleared. That is not a sample, bro. Sit your bro down some. You know how much blood, sweat, and tears I put into Pretty Boy Swag? You trying to come and claim my shit don't sound nothing alike. Fuck around with you. That is not a sample. It's all of your go do 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 do. My go do 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 do. Pretty Boy. That don't sound nothing alike, man. Sit your crap down somewhere, bro. Stop, mad because I'm up. You see me perform at the BET Awards. That was the last straw. Woke up to the next day to a lawsuit. Cheap, just stop reaching. Go live right now and show me a mansion. Show me a mansion. Show me some foreign whips. Show me $1 million cash, and I'm gonna get off your ass. Till then, you broke. Don't you some police? You try to sue a nigga? I thought you was a gangster. I thought you was a goon. Ain't you the nigga that used to wear a goon chain with a ski mask on it? I thought you was a real gangster, real goon. You could have came and got that back in blood. You gonna go snitch to the white man.
If it's one thing Soulja gonna do, he gonna get under that skin, don't matter who the intended target is, and it just so happens that it's Plies. Now, Plies would feel the wrath of the internet, because guess what? After Soulja Boy posted all those things, Twitter went crazy on Plies, like, bro, quit acting like Mike Jones, sitting up there trying to tax the youth for a sample you use, nigga. Ain't you related to Jeezy and Neo by the head and Charlemagne the guy, bro? Get up out of here trying to sue me, fam. And I think what would strike a nerve more than anything with Plies, way more than his head looking like Willie Lump Lump, it's the fact that Soulja Boy sat up there, you understand me, and called him broke. Now, this is what Plies would do in response to Soulja Boy calling him broke. Plies would actually pull up to the ATM machine and pull out about $4,500. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and run the clip.
500 grams on this chain. This ain't normal. VVS wanted everything. This ain't normal. Crackers wanna lock a nigga up. Tyreek Hill. They don't wanna see me with it. I know how Tyreek feel. I got spurts all four things, all blue. I got a whole wang in my house, all shoes. How you fucking with a nigga that all he do is play? Always running his dick sucker and never got him back.
Now, of course, Soulja Boy gonna use every single moment he can in order to get more exposure. So when Plies responded, y'all can bet your bottom dollar the Soulja Boy had an even funnier response. So let's jump off into that.
I got rap suing me? What? Nigga, Plies ain't got on me. What? Nigga? King Kong ain't got on me. What? The nigga having yellow diamonds and shit, man. What? Nigga want to get on the video talking about this ain't normal. This ain't normal. What? Sit your ass somewhere crazy, man. You right. This shit ain't normal, nigga.
This shit irregular. Bro, that nigga uploaded his last savings. Trying to talk about something. Take a shot with me. Oh, Drake. I know that nigga Drake ain't out here suing niggas. Ain't no way. Now y'all wanna, I told y'all, see the nigga Ply start suing a nigga. So when nigga Ply start suing him, this nigga fresh as hell. Either I'm high as fuck, this shit look fire.
You sound. This shit don't start till the cash is dropped. Whole lot of it. Feed you. Feed you me, please. This not no small water, bitch. Aqua pound. Aqua pound, bitch. Call me Aqua pound from now on, bitch. You see what I'm talking about? Aqua pound, bitch. Not call me the Sonic. That shit you got on the Sonic, nigga. This shit is not that.
And after Ply sat up there, you understand me, and pulled out that $3,200 in all blues and was showing it, Soulja Boy immediately, I'm talking about he wasted no time. Soulja Boy immediately ran to the internet to call him broke. And then he would proceed to pop open a Louis Vuitton luggage, and it had some racks in there, you understand me? But the internet quickly pointed out, like, Soulja, that ain't nothing but like $10,000. No, man, you can't pop it with just that little bitty 10, man. Hey, man, personally, I don't feel like any rapper should be coming to Soulja Boy. Soulja Boy is like Cell. Have y'all ever watched Dragon Ball Z? All my Dragon Ball Z watchers, jump in the comment section. So Soulja Boy is like Cell. No matter how bad the injury you inflict on him, it's gonna power him up, bro. He just like Cell. Y'all remember when Cell ate Krillin? This is Soulja Boy, man. Soulja Boy is eating Plies right now. Pause. No Diddy, but it's just a very bad mistake to make with any entertainer in the rap game at all to go with Soulja Boy. That's like getting a Lil B curse put on you. In which case, by the way, the only reason why we know about Lil B is because of Soulja Boy, bro. It gotta be something to this crazy curse, man. It got to be. Now, Plies, one thing for sure, I'm gonna go and tell you the truth, man. That This Ain't Normal song that you got featuring Boss Man D-Lo is trash. Yeah, hey, I'm not hating on you. I'm just saying maybe it's time for you to step in the background and push another artist out to the forefront. You know what I mean? That ran off on the plug twice. That was your last grand finale. This right here, man, I ain't gonna lie, we ain't trying to hear it. But at the same time, we ain't hearing Soulja Boy music like that either. But at least Soulja Boy do give us freestyles here once and again, man. And they be kind of cranking, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. But that's all I got for y'all right now, YouTube family, man. This Soulja Boy and Plies going back and forth. I can expect that this back and forth will keep going on until, I don't know, maybe a song come out of it. That'll probably be the smarter thing to do for the two to get together and actually make a song. But I don't know, man. But as always, man, we gonna sit up there and sit down until we come together, man. That's just the law at this point, YouTube family, man. Y'all know that. And shit, man. Hey, man.
I'm bomb. Hit her with the daddy stroke. I got the little baby sprung. Gotta keep that thing on you. Come on.
I'm about to explain to you one of the most disturbing secrets about the music industry. Are you ready? Let me start off by saying that I posted a video here on social media describing what panda eyes were, and it was completely blocked and taken down from the site. And if you don't know what panda eyes are and their influence on the music industry, you're about to learn right now. The term panda eyes originates from the grotesque and inhumane treatment of little human beings. The type of inhumane treatment is of the sexual nature, and conspiracy theorists believe that the music industry is now starting to use this tactic on musical artists. Conspiracy theorists believe that the pudendal nerve is being abused in the body, thereby creating the sunken, dark panda eyes that we now know. By reading this information above, you can extrapolate how this inhumane action is done to somebody and what it does to them as a result. Conspiracy theorists now believe that the music industry has been perpetuating this abuse by having their stars paint their eyes like black panda eyes. There are a ton of examples from all over the internet that you can find. Now, I'm not 100% sure this is true, but if it were, honestly, it wouldn't be that big of a surprise. Some conspiracy theorists even believe that musical artists have been promoting this for decades. Some have even pointed out this song by Designer called Panda. In the song, he speaks highly of Atlanta's crime sector, and if you didn't know, Atlanta is the United States' #1 source for human trafficking. And if you want even more information on this theory, I'm more than likely live right now, so click the icon and check it out.
Instrumental right there.
Freestyle, homie. Let me hear what you got.
All right, look. I'm about to blow. I don't care if I'm about to blow. I'll catch a case, homie. Homie, that logo face tatted with K's all up on me. I don't know. That beat's kind of slow. I rap fast. Gang banging out here. We really out here sliding, dog. You know what I'm saying? I want to be the first gang. I want to be the first gangbanger that's really out here in the field like that. Like
For the most part, we let him be who he is because that I love the character. We let him be who he is because that I love the character.
Like his weird.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
But this is the one that made Lefty, you know what I'm saying? And he's outside with his homie real quick, and his mom was like, yeah, I would like to show you some of his pictures. And he was
Yes.
wow, he looks crazy
That's
without.
when he went to high school.
Wow, he looks.
No tattoos.
Bro, no tattoos.
Yeah, that was before tattoo.
Fucker, like I'm still ghetto. Like I'm still. What do you consider ghetto? Like, I was just about to ask you, like, what do you consider ghetto? Because a lot of people have different definitions, right? I consider ghetto a trailer park. I live in the trailers, you know. I consider ghetto the refrigerator. I gotta fix it. I consider ghetto the microwave when you fucking cook with cockroaches in it.
Hey, there's someone on it? Hey, what's up? Is this for Arizona? I'm from Cali. I'm a Cali boy, baby. Holla at me. Get my number and shit. Leave that.
It's like the drum play. Look, big Cali boy, look. I bought a brand new Benz, so I can smoke inside of it. Try to eat some bowling, no bowling. I think he got it. I've been losing so many homies. Give me the rifle, man. Cloudy still popping Percocet.
When that music is really fucking popular and realistically, she's probably not thinking about that, right?
You know what though? Hey, you know what? She's not a gangbanger. She's not a stepper.
But it doesn't have anything to do with that,
She's
right?
just a bad bitch. Well, she don't know that. Just like me. She's a civilian, dog. Like just like me. Hey, dog. SPM's hard.
You're a civilian?
SPM's hard.
Get up, Chucky! Get up!
What's up with you? Like, why can't you send me a pic and shit? And I'm mad as fuck right now on some other shit. Like, man, you send me some shit.
This is something I fully expect you to already have a dossier of information ready about.
You're probably unfortunately right.
Are you buying in to the theories about one Lefty Gunplay working with a member of the trans community, or is this fake?
I mean, like that shit look very, very fake.
We've all DM'd a trans person by accident.
We have.
What the AI voice? They did the AI voice message too.
Yeah, like I don't. It's very possible to do that. There's an AI that
I'm saying.
we don't know.
They hit the button and it went up. You seeing bar for bar.
But all he's saying is like, hey, come hang out with me.
Yeah.
It's not like, hey, come over and suck. I want to suck your female dick.
But
like,
also
he's not Jack like Justin.
I think he's out here right now.
But the thing is,
he's going to be coming in soon.
when you look at it could have done the exact same thing that the one Heine did to Comparator, where it's like he was hollering at her, he was kicking it with her, and then she changes her profile to say, I'm 17 years old.
But what
you know what I'm saying? Like he could have been really talking to Shorty, but like he might not have known that she was, you know,
if Swifty's behind
a robot in disguise.
Swifty might have got somebody else to do it too.
That's what I'm saying. You never know. Like I don't know.
That's the only thing, but they showed the picture of the person.
Yeah, that picture,
all on the page.
Yeah, that picture that is circulating definitely looks like it's.
It was like a couple pictures on that page. This is what we gotta understand, man. He probably just didn't want to fuck him or her. He didn't want to fuck her. He was just talking. You know, he gets high and he just.
He might not could have known though. It might not have said like how it says like trying.
But when he's high, he probably like.
He's like, I was looking at a bitch. That bitch looked kind of fly. I didn't realize the bitch had a dick.
3 days up. Off the shit.
By that third day,
they're like, shit, you pulling up?
Saucy Santana starts looking like scissors.
Like, damn. Where the fuck the beard go? All I see is ass at that point. Damn.
But shit, fool. The fact that people even give a fuck is funny, but I get it. Like,
hey, and for the record, Turk has a Birdman interview, a Vlad interview in which at least one of the clips is titled "Turk on Birdman kissing him." Every man plays gay games with his friends.
What?
Gay games? I didn't consider that.
Wait. A lot of men do. You play a lot of gay games.
I do. I play the gayest games.
Yeah.
Yeah, this podcast isn't really like helping to disprove his theory necessarily, but
like when you told me send you a selfie when I get in the shower, that was wild.
Did I say that?
Yeah.
What the fuck? I don't remember saying that.
Oh, yeah.
sounds accurate.
Look at Turk on Birdman kissing him. Every man plays gay games with his friends. And then the other clip is Turk admits kissing Birdman looks bad today, explains why they did it. And I guess his explanation is basically like they were so mafia. They were just keeping it so organized crime.
And so that was like a joke. Every gay man plays gay game.
No, I think he's dead serious.
I don't understand how Vlad gets away with using the exact same thumbnail on every clip. Like, are these different even slightly? But they're almost exactly the same. We have to like put an image in there. I don't know.
Look, bro. Gay games and kissing the man, that's not a game. Straight up. You're not playing when you go lip to lip.
Where's the line drawn? Like, it's a very
Adam, if I play kissed you wouldn't feel no type of way? Like just playing.
What situation would we be in which you would even be able to do that playing? I don't want my face even like that close to your face. No offense.
Exactly. Your beard. What do you mean?
Would you do that one of these? Like, kiss me on the cheek.
That's even gayer. Anybody who has a mustache or a beard that has to be sick. Like,
yeah,
tonguing it up like y'all two, you just hear beard just.
Well, somebody just sent me a screenshot of one of Lefty's homies arguing with the trans girl.
Oh shit!
You knew he was on drugs and you exposed him.
Fuck.
Like his homie's like banking it out like he was fucked up and you should have known that he was fucked up. Why are you putting him on?
Because meth is a gateway drug.
Yeah, it is.
To homosexuality.
I just said it's a gateway drug. You know what I mean?
It's definitely a horny. Is the horniest drug in the world.
But to where you just don't like, it's pussy for sale. They got fucking all type of prices. Like, if that's the case, whatever you was gonna spend on gas money, go to your local Blade and buy you a piece of. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, or just
jump in the back seat, get that off of you, and.
Yeah, like.
But if this is my thing, if I pull up the fig while I'm on meth trying to get some top, I might as well just break her off like 10 times what she normally gets paid because, bitch, you're going to be in here like an hour trying to make this limp-ass dick come.
They cool with that shit.
Yeah, no, there's just for sure not going to be.
At least they going to be inside for an hour.
I'm going to keep pulling 20s up all the time. Keep sucking. Keep sucking.
Yeah. Look, they feet ain't on that pavement. They ain't walking trying to find another car. They'll be all right.
Yeah, we can just hang out with a 22-ster.
Yeah.
You could probably work out like an evening rate or something of that.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Take them back to the crib. Take them back here.
Yeah, I mean, anything you can't do in an hour, just give up. It stops being fun after like 25 minutes, 20 minutes. Like, fucking
all of the longest sex
Damn,
sessions I've ever had in my life was when I was on like Molly or like the one time I did meth. I'm pretty sure I was like 8 hours straight.
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah. I fucked off of Molly when I came home. I fucked like from like 3 in the morning to like 8.
And you won't even realize
2 nuts.
Two nuts.
Only 2 nuts.
You'll be hitting it for so long you won't realize how much time has gone by.
I was playing sleep in the pussy.
Yeah,
I would never pull my dick out. I was like, all right, we're going to sleep.
Oh, that's some hard shit. Just go to sleep with your penis left in there, just all mushy and shit. Can I tell you?
What's good with YouTube? Y'all already know Big Flacco with the comics reaction where I smash, dash, and react. Please hit the like, subscribe, comment, do all those things to help support this channel, and hit that bell notification for future fire reactions. And as you can tell by the title and thumbnail, we're going to be talking about Lefty Gunplay, right? Now, since he's hit the scene hot as fuck, right? Everybody's tapped into him, everybody's tuned in, everybody wants to interview. And he's sent out of stuff, right? He's cashed in a lot of checks saying that he was about this, about that he was here and there, right? But recently I was tagged in a post by Mike's World, right? And in this post, it was listing the places where he has been. Someone pulled his criminal records. Now, I was able to pull the same records as well. Now, he had a CDC number, AR5648, and he was in Pelican Bay, right? So there is a time that he was in prison, and allegedly he was in Pelican Bay. But as far as saying he was down for 9 years, 11 years straight, nah. That does not indicate in his arrest transcript that he was down that long and was in Pelican Bay for that long, right? Now, there's definitely some red flags that I'm about to discuss in a second, right? But let's get to his arrest record real quick, and I'm going to list some things real quick, and then you guys be the judge. Now, as an adult, it goes back to 9/14/2013. He was arrested for burglary. 10/4/2014, he was arrested for a parole violation.
Oh, this just in. Hey, Pun, what happened with you and Lil Dave, man?
Who's Lil Dave?
What you mean?
Ace Boy Pun?
Because he the ugliest nigga out of this, right?
Yeah.
When you said
Speaking of
pretty,
handsome dudes,
I like to
Pun.
the ugliest nigga is Pun. And then on the hood, they say it's some paperwork from back in the days. One of my partners I went to school. I don't know, man. I'm just, you know what I'm saying? Explain, because I don't know. I'm not putting it on you yet, but it might be. Listen.
Wow.
Hey, my little homie last night.
Bitch, it might be.
Basically told me.
That they think Pun told.
Ain't no thing.
Whoa.
I just ain't seen the work to just put it on like that. But
you'll casually mention it on the podcast to get everybody else
he
to
needs
talk
to explain what happened. I said what happened.
But you ain't seen
Did I say you told? I said, hey, what happened?
You ain't seen no black and white though.
Shit, I can.
Might as well, you feel me?
That's what I'm saying.
Do your due diligence,
you think
sir.
it's worth it, or you think he gonna tell on himself? Go ahead.
Content going content. So, I mean, hey, listen. If there was paperwork available on Lush Uno, Break Baby, the 22-ster, for sure they would be doing a deep dive.
Deep analysis.
All you need to do is mention it, and it'll mean that a thirstier YouTuber will probably do the research for you.
Paperwork party.
Yeah, I mean, you really want all the smoke right there, huh?
I mean, if you told, you told.
Yeah.
If you did, you did.
How reliable? Because I don't know Lil Dave, so I don't know. Who that is.
It's reliable. He gonna know exactly what you talking about. This ain't no rapper. This ain't nothing. He gonna know exactly what you talking about.
Yeah,
how do I even know?
That's okay.
You get what I'm saying?
That's what I'm asking. I don't know where this came from.
Explain yourself.
If this came from a reputable homie or or a smoker homie or what.
I have full info by Thursday. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Oh Lord. Wow.
I just forgot to send y'all that in text last night because I was high at the studio when I found out.
Wow, look at that. No, you know, they were running content on Flacco last night.
What Flacco?
I saw a clip of ODM Slim on Ace Boys basically. All right, so Flacco was supposed to have a fade with ODM at one point.
Yeah.
And then he decided that he was going to start making little stipulations and shit. And I
Fade
guess
stipulations?
he wanted P Nice to be there. And I guess
come to P Nice backyard with none of your homeboys, no gangbangers or nothing.
Wait, but so ODM Slim has to go all the way to Long Beach? Or
Yeah.
I don't know. But either way, all right.
Wherever P Nice lives.
All right, maybe I'm misunderstanding the situation, but if you're Flacco and you're gonna go run a fade with a gang member in a backyard for the first time in your entire fucking life, is it really so much to ask that he have like a gang member that he trusts and respects in the form of P Nice there to officiate? Because obviously Flacco's worried about this turning into a
gang problem, like them
big
trying to gang up.
jumping situation or whatever it might be, trying to do some crazy
But
shit.
at that point, what is P Nice gonna stop? Not even clowning him. It's like if the neighbors wanted to do something to Flacco and the trade was trying to stop it, I don't think that it's
maybe not the best.
If it's a
Yeah,
friendly,
best person
no, but
yeah,
honestly,
yeah.
if it's for real, a friendly fade, and there ain't gonna be no shenanigans, you don't need to go with anybody. In reality,
But why would Flacco trust that?
no, I get it.
He ain't even
I get
from
it.
here. He knows that he's a fish out of water when it comes to the backyard fade type situation, right?
I'm from neighborhood where get their head bust, and non-affiliates never get no head ups.
I mean, hey, yeah.
And it's
See?
not really on.
I'm just saying it's a part of the code.
If I was ever going to engage in that sort of thing, obviously I'm pulling up with somebody that I feel like has enough respect that even if the people that I'm supposed to be fighting have no respect for me, that there's still somebody who's going to act on my behalf.
At least
right?
try to.
Yeah.
At least, I think that it's damn near crazier of Slim to expect that Flacco would
Pull up solo, yeah.
abide by regular LA fade rules and stuff, knowing who he is, knowing like
Wait. Slim didn't put no stipulations. He didn't try to back Flacco.
No, that's not what I said.
Flacco came up with all this shit himself.
But
It was like
I
you
got
come
you.
here,
Okay.
you come here. It
Okay.
wasn't like they
Okay.
was trying to negotiate a spot and place.
Yeah.
He like, yeah, nigga, come down here, nigga. Like, first and foremost, you are not affiliate. You want to fade from a gangbanger, it's gonna go the way the gangbanger was.
Well, is who wanted the fade?
I don't know.
Because I'm pretty sure Flacco wasn't like, I need to fight ODM Slim.
ODM Slim was
pretty sure he
demanding it.
was. Yeah, they both was on some shit. Nah, Flacco kind of like, nigga, I fight ODM. Like he said, he jumped out his skin. I don't know if, cause like what gangbangers like, yeah, I need a fade for Flacco.
That's what
about
I'm.
to
Yeah,
blow.
that's kind of crazy too.
But then
yeah.
I think it was a clubhouse argument though.
Probably.
Right? Yeah.
But like, it's funny because ODM obviously way more experienced in this regard than Flacco, and I would just figure that he would have the understanding, like, hey, Flacco probably needs someone to hold his hand through this process.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Like,
you're ODM Slim. You got a homie who's gonna be standing there with a big
You're a
old bunch of
certified-
guns on him.
Yeah.
Let Flacco have his homie to make sure that he at least feels safe in theory. I don't know. They might tell us that we're kind of missing the point of what the disagreement was.
So
but
what was fun and then ready to counter it? Oh,
they're just they called Flacco and then Flacco hung up.
Mid combo.
We talked to him for a minute or two and then he hung up.
Oh, so they were running the content on like, oh, why did you need P Nice
But
to help you?
it's
with
kind of
it?
like a whole room full of Flacco haters too, because like you remember when Flacco used to call himself like
infant ace boy Trey.
yeah.
In case anyone forgot.
But now Trey don't fuck with him, so he's
Yeah.
sitting there hating on him too. There's a big old anti-Flacco party in that
Oh,
room.
so Flacco been from Insane.
Yeah, he literally.
Oh, so
Oh, yeah,
that's
so
why
he's
he
on
fuck
his
with
second
P-Nice.
pass,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's his second. If it ace boy Trey,
That was definitely a moment where I was like, Flacco, you're getting a little too deep in this. Like, you don't want to be an infant anybody, I don't think, right?
He's a little bit too deep in the weeds at that point.
What's happening, Hoodlum Gang? Welcome back to my channel. It's your boy Hoodie from the Hood, aka your friend from that big old end, and I'm back at y'all with another video. But before we get started, if you happen to be new to the channel and you want to become a member of the Hoodlum Gang, all you gotta do is hit that subscribe button, like the video, leave me a comment down below, share the video, tell a friend and tell a friend, hit that notification bell. Go on over to IG and follow me at Hoodie from the Hood. A lot of y'all's weirdos. I be looking at the comments sometimes, and it seemed like a lot of y'all, and y'all be men, homie. Y'all be infatuated or obsessed with my physical appearance on this platform, homie. Always hear, what's up with your shirt? Change your shirt. For the 1000th time, I always say, I'm either at work or just got off work. This is a work shirt. I'm bringing y'all the content, homie. Sometimes it may be dirty. Even if it is clean, it might look dirty just based on, you know what I mean? Um, Somebody has said, oh, you using a filter. Bro, if I used a filter, which I was unaware of, I didn't even know you could use a filter on YouTube. It was probably because I was using a filter on Instagram for something and I just never changed it back. But I'm not putting a filter on to bring y'all content, homie. People be like, oh yeah, tell your barber this and your beard this and your beard and it's men, homie. Like women, you never see women saying this type of stuff in the comments. Obviously the majority of people who comment be men, but there is a lot of women who follow my channel because I speak to them. I see them in person. Some of them have my number. Some of them follow me on Instagram. They have never critiqued any of the things that you men decide to critique me about. No women ever says the stuff that y'all say is a problem. They might be like, hey, I saw your video, or keep doing your thing, or whatever the case is. Women don't never say the type of stuff that y'all be saying. So it always baffles me that it be men, especially, well, I don't know what your preference is, homie, but clearly y'all got a little sugar in y'all tank because y'all be the ones that be judging the most. And it just bothers me, homie, how you could look yourself in the mirror and call yourself a man. But anyways, like I said, I've never used a filter purposely. I don't even know if it's a filter on here right now. If you haven't noticed, I'm not the most savvy when it comes to technology. You know what I mean? I put the content out, I upload the videos. I'm not going to go change my shirt, iron my shirt, buy a new shirt just for y'all. If I'm at work, homie, and I put this content out to you, just be thankful that I'm taking time out of my day to bring y'all some content, homie. Stop complaining. Another thing, I know we already 3 minutes in. For y'all trying to defend this Drake lawsuit, I feel like y'all the people who act like y'all smart, but y'all not really smart. Y'all might be smart to the dumb people that hang around y'all. This is him just throwing a bitch fit, homie. It's simple as that. It's not him against the machine. He's not Michael Jackson, because he would have been did this. They been extorting him. He been rapping about it. So let's not wait until you lose a battle to try to be like, oh, it's because of these bots. Homie, they've been botting for you for years, homie. You lost fair and square. That song was everywhere. Who else? Oh. Nah, I'm gonna make a whole separate video about that. I ain't even gonna talk about that right now. But let's get into this dude, Adam 22, man. Once again, stepping outside of his lane. It's really another word I want to say. But he had a conversation with Whack 100 where basically he was talking about Money Sign Sway in the passing of Money Sign Sway, I believe, last year or something. Now, if you don't know who Money Sign Sway was, he's a California rapper, Hispanic dude. I believe he was doing a year or two sentence in the California State Department and Corrections and Rehabilitation. And he lost his life. Now, it's a lot of things that's unknown, a lot of speculation about that, but it's not really out there like that. So Adam decides, he's having a conversation with Wack, and he decides to start pointing fingers at different organizations behind them walls, saying that they were responsible for this. And it's like, bro, this is why people get on you like that. and you could say it's content or content worthy, newsworthy, or whatever. Everything is not supposed to be spoken of, homie. This is why people have problems with you. If you look at where his platform first started, interviewing the local and underground artists and giving them some light and trying to pretty much put people on to who they are, uh all the way into the, like, you, all you do is politic on your platform now, homie. This is why so many people, including myself, have problems with you, because you too comfortable speaking and playing with this stuff. And we don't know what happened to that dude, and it's really none of our business what happened to that dude. But for you to be saying whatever you call them, the older guys or whatever, and insinuating stuff like that, and then for you to be like, oh, you saw this one channel and he's usually right, or however he worded it, basically like this is a credible source because you watch his channel all the time. You got, and I know who you're talking about. I believe you're talking about a specific dude who used to be a northerner, and it's not Gunner. Um, I seen that video too, and for you to say, for your whole theory to be based on a dude who used to be a part of something that's not even related to what Money Sign Sway was affiliated with, for you to sit there and be like, that's pretty accurate, or you believe it. It's like, bro, we don't know who his sources is. He always say his source, and I'm not saying his sources are wrong, but what I'm saying is we have no way to validate that. We have no way to know if his sources are true, or who told him that, or whatever the case. Watch the content, homie, and that's it. But for you to sit there and run with that and take something that you heard on a platform with 100-something subscribers and take it to your platform with almost 5 million subscribers and spew that out there is wild to me. Like, the carelessness and the recklessness of your mouth. This is why, like I said, this is why everybody has issues with you, because you just be talking, bro. And Wack was even trying to tell you, like, oh, I don't know. We don't know what happened to him. Like, how do you know that? You know what I mean? Like, you pointing fingers at organizations that don't even like to be spoken of. Mia, you didn't say the name, but everybody get what you talk. Like, bro, you think shit's sweet, bro. And I can't even blame you, because you've been getting away with it for so long, it do look like shit is sweet. But it's always gonna be that one day, homie, where you least expect it, where somebody gonna come holler at you about all the shit you've been doing. Especially if you still sitting in the same spot. Somebody gonna come holler at you. But for you to get on here and act like, it's like everything he gets is from other platforms. It's like he don't have no original ideas himself. Everything is, oh, I saw this on Swamp Stories, or I saw this over here, I saw this over there, and then he believes it. It'll be one thing to bring it up and be like, yeah, old boy said this. I don't know about that, but that's what he said. Like, you wholeheartedly be believing other people, other content creators who's just out here trying to make a dollar. This is their job, just like your job, and y'all be doing fake plays and shit for views. What makes you think these other content creators ain't doing the same thing for views, and you will take a story and run with it? But you playing with fire with that Money Sign Sway story. You've been playing with fire with a whole lot of stuff, but you playing with fire with that because you really don't know. And even if you do know, that is not something that needs to be spoken on the internet. Yeah, anyways, like I said, man, you'll learn one day. You know, hopefully it's not too late. I mean, I ain't gonna say hopefully. I don't give a fuck what happens to you, honestly. But yeah, you'll get it one day, man. But that's my video. Just wanted to give y'all some content. I got another video coming, probably, if not tomorrow, Thursday. Be on the lookout for the live, man. But that's my video for today. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments down below.
No jumper.
All right. That's gonna be it, y'all. I hope everybody has a blessed rest of the night. Again, this was the Flip Thought Show by your host with the most, King Truth, Hosenberg, Betty Ball, we want the word, we want the flow. We out of here till the next one. Like, comment, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so when I got that mail, I can throw it right to you. All right, let's go. Everybody have a good one. Peace.